What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me once again to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, baby. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me on this Baller Friday edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Before we get into anything else, I want to remind everybody that this is episode number 625. Episode number 625 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire. All right, folks? All right? Spread it across the internet and throughout the world, and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas, United States time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, baby. And I love being independent now. Once again, folks, type this in your browser right now and add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites, the following ghost.report, all right? That's the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, baby. You just type in ghost.report, and once again, add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites. That is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, folks, I want to remind everybody to follow me on my only social media representation on the internet today, and that's on Gab, folks, all right? And if you don't have yourself a free Gab account, well, go ahead and get yourself one. As a matter of fact, the new web address for Gab is gab.com. Can you believe that? Gab is now a .com, baby. So they moving on up to the east side, baby. Anyway, get yourself a free account at Gab, all right? And once you do so, follow me on that social media under the name Politics Ghost, all right? All one word, no underscores, all right? Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab, folks. And by the way, I want to remind everybody that last show we didn't know whether or not the transaction company that Gab works with is going to continue to allow any kind of transactions. Transactions were on hold. Well, they are back, folks, okay? And for all those folks that paid with cryptocurrency in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, I got you. For those of you that paid for the whole year, I got you, okay? Don't worry about it. But once again, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room, the official chat room, all you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, okay? Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? I think everything's all ready to go. We are seeing people, pay their monthly subscription, so go ahead. Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do that, folks, private message me on Gab. Private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, because that's where the True Capitalist Radio chat room resides. And I will private message you back with an official private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now, I hope everybody's having a pretty good Baller Friday. Of course, I'm not, drinking any alcoholic beverages. I'm trying to be a good boy. I didn't do nothing. So I got myself a little bit of a soft drink here with some high-quality H2O. So, that's what I'm partying with right now tonight. I hope that you're participating in Baller Friday. And for you folks that are just tuning in with us, asking you, what the hell is Baller Friday? Baller Friday is that time of the week where capitalists look past the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and bask in their success. Bask in their wages. Bask in their salary. Bask in their labor. And you celebrate Baller Friday with whatever vice that you like, because hey, you earned it, baby. You work. You're not like these dumb losers with their hands out. You're working, for Christ's sake. So doesn't matter what your vice is, whether it's an alcoholic beverage, whether it's a soft drink, whether it's a whole gallon of Haagen-Dazs, whether it's a whole pie in one fork, whatever it is, I hope that you're celebrating this Baller Friday if you are a capitalist. So what's going on? And by the way, what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room? I can see everybody chilling in here on a Baller Friday. Let me give some shout-outs here for the people that are already tuning in. What's going on to Billy Cossack? We got, what is this, Brett Kavanaugh Slap-a-Ho. All right, that's enough. That's not funny. We've got Fedora Kush in the house. We got Hawk Late Milk. We got Herb Capitalist, Holden Capitalist in the house. What's going on to Hoodie, Nat, Stagio in the place, TCS in the place. We've got Tesla Cyberheart, the God of Rage, and the Pet Mexican right now are tuning in with us to a Baller Friday. Happy Baller Friday to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. And once again, happy Baller Friday to everybody who's listening to the broadcast. Now, before I get into the cryptocurrency and the stock portion of the broadcast, I do want to get into something. Now, the last show, I was a little bit melancholy. I was a little upset. I was a little angry because of all this leftist sentiment that was being shoved down our throats as it pertains to Me Too, feminism, all this leftist moral high ground garbage that has been bombarded down our throats. And I was just a little melancholy because I was starting to believe that a lot of people in America were actually starting to believe this crap. A lot of people in America were actually starting to believe this crap, but now as the time has gone and the dust has settled, it seems to me that this challenge, because that's what the left wing is doing, folks. That's what the Democrats are doing. They are challenging the conservative values of the right wing. And let me tell you, it's just invigorated, I think, the sleeping giant that was the right wing political spectrum in America today. I think that the Democrats, in a very miscalculated move, because this is what they're known for. They don't know what the hell they're doing. In a miscalculated move, they decided to poke the eye of conservatism and tried to get on a soapbox with a holier-than-thou attitude, challenging the conservative values, and I think it just slapped right back in the goddamn Democrats' face. I think it slapped right in the right against their damn stupid, anti-American, pro-sexualization of children faces. All these Democrats, all of them. And I'm glad. And I'm telling you something, folks. Later on that night, this past Wednesday, after I was a little melancholy at the beginning of the broadcast, after the broadcast, I was actually listening to a replay of Sean Hannity, and he had an elder of politics himself. I'm talking about Newt Gingrich. And I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe because he's been in the game for a long time, he set a little bit of optimism into my soul when he suggested that there's no way that Kavanaugh doesn't get on the Supreme Court. Moreover, Newt Gingrich went along to suggest that there's probably going to be a major red wave happening in the 2018 elections. And I certainly hope so. And hearing that from Newt Gingrich, I think it kind of settled me down a little bit. And as of today, Baller Friday, it seems as if this man kind of smelt the blood in the water and is seeing this unbelievable resurgence in right-wing conservative values all over the place. And I like it. And let me tell you something. We just can't sit back on our thumbs and think that the left is going to stop. Especially these dumb left-wing bureaucrats that are in D.C. that think they have a 2020, I'm talking about 2020 presidential run in some cases. Now, what I'm going to announce here is that, look, we got to fight fire with fire, and if these damn Democrats want to go into the backgrounds of people, if these Democrats want to find dirt on people, well, that's exactly what the capitalist army and Ghost plans on doing. Now, I don't know if you've been checking out my Gab account, folks, and what I've been gabbing out, but let me tell you, we have been coming and combing all over the goddamn place. Did I say coming? We've been combing all over the goddamn place, and I guess coming, I mean, who knows, who cares? We've been combing all over the place, finding every piece of dirt that we can find on all these Democrats, and we haven't even started. We haven't even began. We have not started. Now, Obviously, folks, if y'all been keeping up with my gab, I wrote an article about Christine Blasey Ford on how she wrote a paper. Because remember, this broad is a psychologist, right? We're supposed to be calling her doctor. She wrote a paper on self-hypnosis to create, quote, artificial situations. And that's why I wrote an article there. And I wrote that article to expose how deceptive that this woman can be. She's written goddamn documents, psychological medical documents on the damn thing. That was the first. Then I decided we're going full throttle. We're writing about everybody. All right? We wrote about here. Let me go ahead and look at my gab, folks, right now. Cory Booker admits to sexual assault in college article. This Cory Booker tries to stand on some soapbox as if he has some sort of moral fiber that nobody else has. And take a look at his writings while he was at Stanford. This moron liked to be filthy. He liked to be obnoxious. He liked to be perverted in his articles. And in one of these articles, he admitted that he sexually assaulted a young girlfriend of his when he was 15 years old during a 1984 New Year's Eve party. Now, where is the FBI investigation and the calls for an FBI investigation into Cory Booker? Where are the calls by the Me Too movement and the Democrats asking this holier-than-thou wannabe mulatto asshole to step down from the Senate? Remember, that's what Cory Booker, that's the standard that Cory Booker wanted for Brett Kavanaugh. That no matter what, if he's guilty or not, Brett Kavanaugh should be removed and there should be another potential Supreme Court candidate. That's the standard that Cory Booker decided that he wanted to put forth. So I'm just exposing the utter contradictions and hypocrisy that are within the Democrats that, of course, the mainstream media refuses to talk about. He admits sexual assault, for Christ's sake. He admits sexual assault. And did you know what the title of the article in the Stanford Daily, Volume 201, Issue 12, February 19th, 1992 edition? Do you know what the fucking goddamn title of his article is? So much for stealing second. So much for stealing second. He's admitting it right in the fucking title. He's admitting he stole second. He copped a feel, even though in the article it says that this girl was trying to push his hands away. He proudly boasts how he stole second. And this Cory Booker asshole is trying to stand on some kind of a soapbox as if he's some kind of a champion for women, as if he's some kind of a champion for feminism. Give me a goddamn break. Go to my gab right now. Take a look at that article and spread that article around the internets and throughout the world. Spread that shit around the world. Let me tell you something. We are digging deep in every politician. Every politician that's in the Democratic Party. They want to play rough? Huh? They want to act as if they can get dirt on people? We are going to get dirt on every single fucking Democrat that we can come across. And if you don't think you've got any skeletons in your closet, believe me, we're going to find them. We're going to fucking find them. Yeah, old Cory Booker over there, huh? And you know something else, folks? I'm going to go ahead and repost this on the gab. Cory Booker likes to tout his blackness, even though I'd like a black check on Cory Booker, but that's besides the point. It's only Democrats that want to separate us by race, because I personally don't care. Like Martin Luther the King said in a speech, I prefer to judge someone on the content of their character as opposed to the color of their skin. But, of course, Cory Booker likes to refer to himself as some big black man whenever it's politically convenient for him to do so. But at the same time, take a look at my gab, folks. He's a Jewish guy. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's right, folks. He ran the Jewish organization when he decided to go to Oxford on a Rhodes Scholarship. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, take a look at my Gab, folks. I just gabbed the article in which he proudly boasts that he's Jewish. You know, so, I mean, good God. And who else do we have for 2020 out here? Who else are they trying to throw at us as some potential contender for against Donald Trump in 2020? Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris, huh? Oh, that's rich. You know, Kamala Harris, and look, I'm going to go ahead and repost this one. Let me go ahead and repost that one. Look at my Gab. I'm reposting like crazy. Kamala Harris protected Catholic pedophiles when she was not only district attorney of San Francisco, but also when she was the Attorney General of California. She allowed the Archdiocese of San Francisco to get away with a lot of molestations and kept all the records under wraps. I mean, this is who they are trying to push forth as candidates in 2020. I'm talking about the Democrats. And do you mean to tell me that these types of secrets are just going to be put, we're just going to brush them under the rug? Absolutely not. And this is where we have to go to if the Democrats want to play this game. We got to go right at their jugular. They're the ones now setting the foundation of what is moral. And you see, Kamala Harris, she was one of the broads that was out here claiming that we should just blindly believe any sexual assault, regardless if the man is guilty or innocent. She was one of them. She was one of them. Does that not pertain to children, Kamala Harris? And what is it with these Democrats and sexualization of children, huh? I mean, it's always a constant with these Democrats. Always a constant. I mean, I can't believe that these Democrats actually think that they can run for something with all this baggage. And let me tell you something. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We've got dirt on Kuntz. We've got dirt on Hirono. We've got dirt on them all. And let me tell you, whoever the hell else the Democrats are going to throw for 2020, we're going to get dirt on these sons of bitches because you Democrats think that you can somehow create the moral soapbox. And I'm telling you this right now, you don't have any moral soapbox to stand on. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to all of you Democrats. And speaking of which, aside from Kamala Harris, pro-pedophile of the church, let me tell you, we need to unseal those records that have been sealed as it pertains to Kamala Harris and her as a district attorney of San Francisco and her as the Attorney General of California. We need to unseal those records as pertains to her offices and the investigation of all Catholic Church sex abuses. She has kept those records under secrecy, even though you've had journalists attempt to go under Freedom of Information Act request attempting to get those documents. So I'm telling you, folks, there's something there with Kamala Harris. So if this dumb broad thinks that she's going to come out and run for 2020, you've got another thing coming, you pro-pedophile, dumb Catholic broad. All right, and by the way, we've got somebody over here in Texas by the name of Robert O'Rourke, who is pure white, muck-shoveling Mick Irish, who I guess because he's raised in El Paso, he gives himself... You see, it's only liberals that do this shit, you know? He's like, hey, I'm out here in El Paso. I'm a white guy feeding tacos to Mexican kids. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my name a little Mexican-y so that it can sound like I'm down with the brothers in the barrio. I'm talking about this asshole Beto O'Rourke, who is running for Senate against the incumbent Ted Cruz. Now, I know during the 2016 campaign, this broadcast and the Capitalist Army, we wrecked Ted Cruz. I'm sorry. We wrecked Ted Cruz. The leave him hidey situation. I can go on and on. But we are now no longer in primary mode. in which we are trying to vouch for our presidential candidate on a national scale. Right now in Texas, this Beto O'Rourke, for whatever reason, I think it's mostly media hype, to be completely honest with you, because every time I hear Beto O'Rourke speak, I am not impressed. I am not impressed. I am not inspired. His cadence is off. I don't get where they're getting this Beto O'Rourke being such a rock star of a candidate. But you know, folks, who is Beto O'Rourke and where does he come from? Well, folks, let me go ahead and repost this article, okay? This is where Beto O'Rourke comes from, and this is where they get, and I'm talking the Democrats, this is where they get their candidates from. This is the kind of candidates that they're running. Beto O'Rourke's father, Patrick, or Pat for short, Pat O'Rourke, was a judge in El Paso, Texas. And in the early 80s, when he was getting his car, CB radio, when he turned it into the sheriff so that they can install it, they conveniently found cocaine hidden in his dashboard. They found cocaine hidden in Beto O'Rourke's father's dashboard. And did anything happen? No. It got brushed under the rug. Nothing happened. It's like a blip in history. Isn't that amazing, folks? A judge has cocaine in the dashboard. I'm not talking about in the glove compartment. I'm not talking about on top of the dash. I'm talking as if he was smuggling the dope. Do you understand? And nothing happened to old Beto O'Rourke's father. Now, let's take a look at his mother. His mother pleaded guilty to the IRS for money laundering out of her makeshift furniture store. Now, you've got to look at it like this. If it smells like a duck, walks like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. Is there any connection in my... Look, I don't want to get into it. You can do your own research, but just on those alone, is there any connection with drug cartels in Mexico and the O'Rourke family? And I ask that question because do you know how Beto O'Rourke's father died? Beto O'Rourke's father, Pat, was out biking like every, little leftist cuck out there and was hit by a car that ran off. Okay? Was hit by a car and just ran off, and I believe that is an unsolved hit-and-run accident. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's why I keep telling you, these are the kinds of people that Democrats are running, all right? And why are they calling Beto O'Rourke a goddamn rock star? I have no idea, because he's a white guy that uses a Mexican-esque first name. I mean, how can Mexicans fall for this shit? I'm serious. I'm not even kidding. How do Mexicans fall for it? I don't believe they're falling for it. I know the media's trying to make believe that they are. I don't believe they're falling for it because this is obnoxious. Hey, man, how you doing? I'm Beto O'Rourke, man. Orale. How you doing there, Chico? Huh? I'd like your vote, S.A. Hey, I mean, are you fucking kidding me, man? Good God. Anyway, take a look at my gab, folks. All right, these are just a chip off the old block of what we plan to do to these Democrats. Since these Democrats want to play rough, since they want to go into people's past, since they want to go to war, they've got a war. They've got an info war going on. I'm not talking about Alex Jones's fat, blubbering, goddamn drunkard ass. I'm talking about information that these people would like to keep secret. The information that the lamestream media doesn't want to share. And that's why I keep telling you out there on the internets, let everybody know about Ghost Report. Let everybody know about this show. This is the straight political dope, folks. And we're not going to allow this to happen anymore. Us as on the right wing. Us on the right wing, we're not going to just sit back and sit on our thumbs anymore, folks. We're going to go right at these people's jugulars, man. All right? And make sure that all this information that's being unearthed on this broadcast is spread all over the fucking place. Tweet it at these sons of bitches. Even if you want to blame me for it, I don't give a shit. Tweet it at these sons of bitches. Tweet them. Tweet it at Cory Booker. Tweet it at Kamala Harris. Tweet it at Beto O'Rourke. Who gives a shit? They want to play rough? They want to go to war. I'm going to unearth all the dirty secrets from these Democrats to make them look like the fucking hypocrites that they are. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Ugh. I'm hyped up on a Baller Friday, for Christ's sake, man. And I hope that you understand that that's why this show took a serious turn. There's no time for trolling. There's no time for games, especially on an internet that is being more and more censored, you morons. That's why I keep telling each and every one of you, man, spread this show around the internet and throughout the fucking world. Because if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you're listening to the political underground. I guarantee it. And now that we're unearthing all the demons and all the skeletons and all the bad information from these fucking Democrats' past, I guarantee it, this is going to be a dangerous radio show that none of these Democrats want to fucking know or want the public to know or want the public to hear. You're goddamn right. Jesus Christ. I hope that you're getting some inspiration from this. Because we can't just sit back on our thumbs like I've been saying, folks. We have to go right at the Democrats' jugular, man. You understand that? I mean, once again, Ghost is coming out here, and we're going right at these goddamn Democrats. And let me tell you, it's 2016. I can feel it a little bit right now in present day. It's 2016 all over again. It's 2016 all over again, baby. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And I hope you realize that in a month, less than a month, that you have to go out and vote Republican, and you've got to convince as many people as you know to go out and vote Republican. I'm telling you this right now. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry to get so excited, get so hyper. Obviously, it's a Baller Friday, but by God, folks, spread these articles around like wildfire and let everybody know about the True Capitalist radio broadcast, because we're going right at these Democrats, all right? We're going right at these fucking Democrats. I'm going right at them. I'm going right at them. You're goddamn right. Anyway, folks, let me go ahead and proceed on to the financial portion of the broadcast. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency, the markets slightly contracted yesterday, but today we are currently, as we speak, seeing a bounce back because the United States dollar has slid to some extent. All right? The U.S. dollar is sliding in its value, and the reason is because of the Treasury yields. You know, these Treasury yields out here are, not necessarily making those that are bullish on the dollar continuously be bullish. So you're seeing a little bit of that reflected in the U.S. dollar. Let's take a look at it. The dollar right now, U.S. dollar, fiat currency, is down 0.22%. It is down 0.22% on the day, and that's why we are witnessing an increase right now in cryptocurrency. Let's take a look at the market capitalization of crypto right now. The market capitalization of cryptocurrency is $220 billion market cap for the entire cryptocurrency markets. $220 billion. Let's go ahead and start covering some of these. Let's get to Bitcoin. Now, once again, we're waiting for this spike in Bitcoin that is being overhyped in the mainstream business media. Keep an eye out on Bitcoin. You've got these people continuously pumping and pumping and pumping it. You've got now institutional investors coming into the cryptocurrency game. A lot of good news coming out as well, folks. So, once again, right now is the time, in my opinion, to start accumulating crypto and holding it, baby. All right, once again, long-term investment reigns supreme. So right now, I think, is the time, especially right before this holiday season here. And as we approach the holiday season, I'd like to start right now suggesting to everybody to give the gift of cryptocurrency. Give the gift of cryptocurrency, man. Try to figure out how to give cryptocurrency. Put it on a paper wallet. You know what I mean? Put a wallet on a jump drive and give it to people and say, hey, look, I just gave you about $50 worth of crypto. I gave you $25 worth of crypto. What's crypto? What's cryptocurrency? I don't get it. So we can introduce more people into the market, because remember, folks, this is a global market. This is global. And the more people know it, the more people are going to buy, and there are 7.7 billion people in the earth. Do you understand? That's why I keep telling you, this $220 billion market cap for the cumulative market is just not even a scratch on the surface. So anyway, let me go ahead and get to Bitcoin here. The symbol is BTC. The market capitalization for Bitcoin is $114 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply, folks, is 17.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 0.53% increase. Once again, we're currently in a bounce back right now, folks. Current price right now for Bitcoin is $6,624.36 per Bitcoin. Let's get to Ethereum. ETH is the symbol for Ethereum, folks. Now, once again, I don't know what's going on with Ethereum. You've got a little bit of hype in the business media that's starting to come around to Ethereum, so I don't know what the hell's going to happen. We did see massive lows here recently, seeing Ethereum go down to about 180, 170 bucks. Let's take a look at it right now. ETH market capitalization is $23 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 102 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has gone up 2.13% increase. Current price for Ethereum is $227.60 per Ethereum. Let's take a look at, once again, Ripple, or XRP is the symbol, XRP. And the reason I'm covering it, folks, is because there is massive amounts of news, business, mainstream media covering Ripple, and on top of which, you've got actual financial institutions utilizing its blockchain to process transactions. I read here, was it today, that three financial institutions are now utilizing its blockchain as a means of processing transactions. So like I said, folks, I like Ripple in the short term. I'm not too sure about the long term, but I know that right now the current prices are ripe to at least double or triple here within the next year to year and a half. Very easy, possibly even sooner. I mean, Ripple is moving rapid in gaining partnerships within the financial institutions. So once again, I'm only covering it because I feel there is short-term gain potential in this. So let's go ahead and get to XRP, Ripple. Market capitalization is $20 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply, you might as well just say 40 billion in circulation. That's right, 40 billion with a B in circulation. Now, in the past 24 hours, it has gone down. You got people taking profits and now probably putting those profits in other cryptocurrencies since we're seeing a bounce back in the market right now. But the current price for Ripple XRP, 51 cents. 51 cents for Ripple. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin Cash. You know I like Bitcoin Cash. It's a pretty decent investment as far as I'm concerned. I think these are great levels to invest in for the long term. And when I mean long term, I'm going to extend it beyond 6 months. I'm going to say a year's time. I give Bitcoin Cash a year's time, BCH. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I like Bitcoin Cash. It's a better alternative to Bitcoin, faster transaction time, faster transaction speed. You've got bigger block sizes. There's a lot of reasons why I like it here within the year's time frame. So let's take a look at it right now. BCH is the symbol for Bitcoin Cash. Market capitalization is $9 billion market capitalization. Circulating supply is 17.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone up 1.02%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash is $520.63 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's continue. Let's get to Monero, folks. Now, I like Monero, once again, as a short pattern or swing trading play. And also, folks, it's being big in the underworld, in the deep webs, in the dark webs. And now, I'm not trying to condone the dark web, but if Monero is accepted, then there is going to be a demand. That's how you view that sort of news. So once again, XMR is the symbol for Monero. Market capitalization is $1.8 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 16.4 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone up 0.12% increase. Current price for Monero is $114.88 per Monero. Now let's get to Dash, folks. Now once again, I hate to keep reiterating this, but I do want to remind everybody that there are still, from what I understand, they could be sold out by now, there are still Dash contracts at genesis-mining.com, folks, and I'm just trying to get people the heads up. Remember, Dash, the highest that Dash has ever seen in USD price is $1,600. Right now, we're at pretty good lows to enter into a 2-year mining contract at genesis-mining.com. And when I mean dash, I'm talking about the little hyphen, genesis-mining.com, and take a look at the Dash contracts, Monero, Zcash. As a matter of fact, I think all of them are a decent buy, but the best buy, I believe, is Dash. And given Monero's position in the dark web, I don't think Monero is a bad idea either. Now, with that being said, take a look at my Gab, folks, if you want to click the link to Genesis-Mining, or go to Genesis-Mining.com and take a look at some of those mining contracts. Once again, once you get one of those mining contracts, you get daily payments deposited in your digital wallet on a daily basis. I love it, man. I'm still collecting from a Ethereum contract that I purchased back in April of 2017, and I've already, beyond quintupled my money. I'm not even kidding around, man, even at these prices. Now, once again, take a look at my Gab, folks, Genesis-Mining.com. And if you're going to entertain a mining contract, you've got to use the discount code, baby. You've got to use the discount code. And what's the discount code, folks? It is WEA296. The discount code for Genesis-Mining.com is WEA296. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to Dash. Current market capitalization for DASH is $1.5 billion market cap. The circulating supply for Dash is a very, very low 8.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone up 0.70% increase. The current price for Dash is $182.05 per Dash. You see what I'm saying? Very, very low right now. Let's take a look at Ethereum Classic. ETC is the symbol, folks. Market capitalization is $1.1 billion market cap. The circulating supply for Ethereum Classic is 105 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum Classic has gone down slightly. It is down 0.18%. Current price for Ethereum Classic, ETC, $11.05 per Ethereum Classic. Let's go ahead and take a look at Zcash. Once again, I like Zcash. Low circulation. I like it to be accumulated. I like it to be mined, etc. So with that being said, it's got a privacy component just like Monero. So we'll see who wins that privacy component blockchain between Monero and Zcash. I like Zcash. I don't think Monero is trash, but I like Zcash better. ZEC, market capitalization for Zcash is $632 million. The circulating supply for Zcash is 4.9 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone up 2.52% increase. The current price for Zcash, $127.72 per Zcash. Let's continue, shall we? Let's go to Quantum, folks. Now, Quantum has been pretty much steady as she goes at about 380 to 385. But once again, the x86 is starting to show, at least after the hackathon, is starting to show its relevance as it pertains to the dominance of smart contracting. Now, with that being said, folks, keep an eye on QTUM. Once again, Forbes magazine calls it the top, one of the top cryptocurrencies to watch for 2019. And I'm telling you right now, man, this is one of my biggest, if not the biggest, holding I've got in cryptocurrency right now, as well as most people in the Inner Circle and the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Let's take a look at Quantum, QTUM. And like I said, folks, the highest Quantum has ever been is about $110, $115. So I'm just saying. All right, Quantum, QTUM, market capitalization right now is $339 million market cap. Circulating supply for QTUM is 88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen QTM go up 0.58%. Current price for QTUM, $3.85 per QTUM. Now, let me continue on with 0x, folks. You know I like 0x. I think it could easily take the trajectory as an EOS. I don't like EOS one bit, but I think the trajectory is there. It's got a better blockchain than EOS, and not to mention Coinbase. Coinbase has acquired the exchange in which it used 0x's blockchain technology, Paradox, I believe that's what it's called. And, yeah, Coinbase may add this here soon enough. So we shall see. ZRX market capitalization, $351 million market cap. Now, the circulating supply, 540 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, 0x has gone up 1.16%. Current price for 0x, 65 cents. 65 cents for 0x, folks. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some more here. Now, I've talked about this one some time ago, and I'm a long-term investor on this one. Once again, Basic Attention Coin. And the reason I like it, folks, is because Basic Attention Coin has its own browser. And its browser right now is actually surpassing Google's Chrome in circulation right now as far as browsing the internet. I'm not even talking about what is the Basic Attention Coins browser? Brave. Brave browser, folks. You can go ahead and take a look at that and find that out for yourself. But what they're trying to do is have enough people use Brave as their browser, and they're going to integrate the possibility of being able to donate crypto to content creators that you appreciate. You see, folks, this is where this is all going, man. Because the current model of how content creators monetize their content, it's not working, man. I mean, what it's doing, it's over-commercializing things. And as we can see from the YouTube model, if it's over-commercialized, the people that are paying for the advertisement dictate what is being produced as content. And who are advertisers to dictate content? It should be content viewers and listeners and watchers, etc., that dictate what is good and what isn't. And unfortunately, the model is going much like what Basic Attention Coin is trying to do, much like what you're seeing in the YouTube and the Twitch accounts of in real life streamers with the Streamlab accounts and all the super chats. I mean, this is literally what the new form of monetization of content creators is going to be. Because I'm telling you, folks, if we leave it up to the advertisers, take a look at what's happening to YouTube right now. That's what's going to happen to every goddamn platform if you leave the damn content to advertisers to pay for. Always remember that. Anyway, let's take a look at Basic Attention Token. BAT is the symbol. BAT. Market capitalization is $180 million market cap. Circulating supply is 1 billion in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Basic Attention Coin has gone up 4.96% increase. Current price for Basic Attention Coin, 18 cents. Now, I'm certain that once the integration of the Brave browser and the donations of crypto start integrating themselves, Basic Attention Coin, at the very least, at the very least, I think it's going to get a little more than this, but at the very least, should pair itself with the dollar even. Now, I think it could go up more than that because, once again, I mean, they're already laying the foundations for the future. And they're integrating their cryptocurrency into a platform that needs to be used. So we'll see how the future holds for basic attention coin. All right, folks? Anyway, we're running out of time here. Let's go ahead and talk a little stock talk, shall we? Now, the stocks are sliding right now, and the reason they're sliding is because of Treasury yield worries. The tech stocks hit a 15-month low because of the United States tensions between China. It's deepening pretty bad. Now, aside from that bad news, folks, today we heard that the unemployment rate is at a 50-year low, baby. 50-year low for unemployment. We are now at 3.7% unemployment. Can you believe that? Huh? Can you say winning? Can you say winning? This is what I keep telling you, folks. If you vote Democrat in 2018, you can kiss this economic boom that we are witnessing right before our very eyes. You can kiss it goodbye. You can kiss it goodbye, folks, if you vote Democrat in 2018. 3.7 unemployment in America today. But once again, folks, we're sliding because Treasury yields are high, and the reason Treasury yields are high is because people are selling off bonds, and also people are having a little bit of a hard time buying our bonds. And why is that, folks? Well, because we're playing hardball with the world. We're renegotiating trade deals. We're putting America first. And the world doesn't like that. So every time we have a bond auction, and folks, for you folks that don't know, when we put out bonds for auction, or I should say the Treasury Department, when it puts out bonds for auction, investors have to go and buy those bonds so that we can continue raising the United States debt. You see, that's what people are buying when they're buying bonds. They're buying our debt. And for holding on to that bond for 5, 10, 20 years, they get a yield for those bonds for holding those bonds. And right now, those yields are getting very high. And it doesn't compute, does it? I mean, the higher our debt goes, the higher our yield goes. Right now, folks, as we see it, all the taxes that the United States collects at the end of the year, all the taxes from taxpayers can barely pay for the interest of the debt that we currently have as a United States. So that's why these Treasury yields getting too high is starting to affect the markets, and you're seeing it today in the stock market. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. Dow Jones Industrial is down 180.43 points, a percentage decrease of 0.68%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 26,447.05 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P 500. It's also down today, 16.04 points, a percentage decrease of 0.55%, closing out the S&P at 2,885.57 points for the S&P 500. Let's get to the NASDAQ. Once again, I said tech prices are at 15-month lows here. NASDAQ is down 91.06 points, a percentage decrease of 1.16%, closing out the NASDAQ at 7,788.45 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at commodities here. Now, what did I tell you all about energy? Got to watch out for those gas prices, boy. Got to watch out for those gas prices. They're going to go up and up and up. Why is that? Because of the destabilization that's happening in the Middle East. The things that we are having with Iran, the disputes that we're having with Iran, a lot of things going on in the energy sector that is just too complicated to explain to folks. But just the reason I cover commodities is to show you folks that the prices of what you buy at the grocery store or what you pay for at the pump go up and down based upon these commodities. All right? based upon whether these prices or these percentages are going to continue to go up or down. So let's take a look at energy. WTI sweet crude right now is up 1 cent, a percentage increase of 0.01%. Current price for WTI sweet crude is $74.34 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude, folks. It's down modestly, but still high. Brent crude is down 42 cents, is down 42 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.50%. Current price for Brent crude oil is $84.16 per barrel of Brent crude oil. Let's take a look at gasoline. It's down today 0.68%. Natural gas is down 0.70%, and heating oil is down slightly 0.31%. But keep watching heating oil, boy. Wait till it starts getting cold out here, baby. You're going to see that damn heating oil go up and up and up and up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the metals, all right? Let's take a look at the metals. The metals! Let's take a look at the damn metals. Gold is up $4, a percentage increase of 0.33%. Current price for gold is $1,205.60 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver. It's also up today, folks. 6 cents, a percentage increase of 0.40%. Closing out silver at $14.65 per troy ounce of silver. We've got copper. It is down today 0.52%. And we've got platinum. It is also down 0.29%. Let's go ahead and get to agriculture, shall we? Grains. Let's get to corn. Corn is up 0.20%. Wheat is up 0.58%. We've got oats. It's down today 0.35%. Rough rice is up 0.37%. Take a look at soybean. Soybean is up 1.13%. Get those soybeans away from me. That's all I got to say. Soybean oil, it is down 0.68%, and canola is up 0.46%. Let's take a look at the soft, shall we? Now, cocoa, the base for chocolate, it is up modestly today. It is up 0.70%. Coffee, folks, and let me tell you, I don't know what the hell's happening with coffee. Once again, it must be because of the natural disasters that have afflicted some of these coffee-producing nation states. And I'm telling you, we've had a lot of hurricanes. You should take a look at how many hurricanes that we've had all over the world. This is probably reflective of that. Coffee is up 1.87% increase on the day. Sugar is the same thing, folks. Remember, the most of the sugar is pretty much produced around the equator area. And as a result, we've had a lot of storms go down that way. And I'm wondering if the investors in the commodities markets are speculating that there's going to be a certain amount of scarcity in sugar. At least that's what they're trading like. Right now, sugar is up 2.43% increase on the day for sugar. Let's take a look at orange juice. Orange juice is down 0.97%. I can't believe people don't drink orange juice anymore. All right, I mean, all you damn vegan queers and all you.
I don't drink orange juice, and it's got sugar. I just don't get it. I just don't like it.
Now, I mean, don't you understand orange juice is vitamin C, you numbnuts? Jesus Christ. I hope you're getting your vitamin C somewhere else, because vitamin C is actually rather damn good for you. Anyway, once again, orange juice down 0.97%. Cotton, it's up 0.13%. And lumber, it's taken a fall, folks. And the reason I say lumber is continuing to take a fall is because of these damn interest rates that were hiked up by the Federal Reserve. I mean, the interest rates were hiked up by the Federal Reserve 2 to 2.25%, and they're talking about raising them even more as the year goes on. So that's why you're seeing lumber go down in price, because that means there's going to be a halt of new home developments. There's going to be a halt of add-on additions, home renovations, etc. So I can see this reflected very, very nicely because of those components there. Let's take a look at lumber. Lumber is down 3.07% decrease. That's a lot of decrease right there. Let's take a look at rubber. Rubber is unchanged on the day, folks. Let's take a look at ethanol. Ethanol is also unchanged for the day. Let's take a look at livestock, shall we? Before we get to look at livestock, let me get some high-quality H2O over here that I wish was a draft beer. I wish it was a draft beer, folks. I'm going to be completely honest. Hey, I'm trying, all right? I'm trying to cut the drinking down, but I wish it was a draft beer, right? Nothing like beer. I like beer, all right? I like beer. The words of Brett Kavanaugh, all right? I like beer. Anyway, let's get to livestock, shall we? We got live cattle. It is down 0.19% for live cattle. Hey, look, the chat room's... Look, I like beer. I like scotch, too, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what it is about beer, you know, the spirits of beer. And I'm talking German beers, too, not this, you know, pussy-whipped domestic beers that we have for sale out here in America, for Christ's sake. I'm talking German beers. All right, I'm talking German purity laws, baby. I'm sorry. I wish I had a beer right now, you know. It sucks. It sucks, you know, but what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Anyway, let's get to cattle feeder. Cattle feeder is up 0.30%. And, folks, have you taken a look at lean hogs, for Christ's sake, man? I mean, good God. I don't know what's going on with lean hogs. But if you want to get yourself a fat pork butt or a fat goddamn ham bone for this Thanksgiving, man, it looks like it's going to be a little pricey this year, to say the least. I mean, all I've seen from lean hogs is up and up and up and up in percentages of price. And today is no different, folks. Take a look at the increase in lean hogs. Lean hogs, folks, is up 4.02% on the day. I mean, good God. Good God. No pork butt? No pork butt for Thanksgiving? I don't care how much the pork butt costs. I'm still buying the pork butt. I don't really care. Let me get a glass of high-quality H2O here. Anyway, once again, lean hog is up 4.02% on the day, and that, my friends, is the markets for your ass. All right, look at the people on damn Gab are starting to, hey, I like beer. All right, I like beer. Don't give me shit, man, and don't give Brett Kavanaugh some shit because he likes beer. All right, you can tell the man's not an alcoholic, for Christ's sake. Look at his skin. He's a 53-year-old man. He looks like he just barely turned 30 or 39 or 40. Are you kidding me? He's not drinking beer and guzzling them down like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin on top of a turnbuckle or some shit. Get over it, man. I like beer. Anyway, folks, that is the end, or that's the markets for your ass, I should say. And that concludes the financial portion of the broadcast, folks, all right? Let me take another drink of some high-quality H2O that I wish was beer on this Baller Friday. God! Maybe if I think about it, it'll taste like beer. Maybe if I hypnotize myself, or maybe I should read over that Christine Blasey Ford's little paper about self-hypnosis. Maybe if I hypnotize myself and pretend this is beer, maybe I'll get drunk, right? Yeah, right. Anyway, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know across the internets and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. That's right. Type in your fucking browsers and add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites the following: ghost.report, okay? Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Spread that all over the internets and throughout the world. Spread it everywhere. Spread it everywhere, man. Anyway, folks, and before I move on, I'd like to ask everybody to please follow me on Gab, folks. It's my only social media representation on the internet today. Gab. You can get yourself a free account at gab.com, Gab.com now. Can't believe it. Gab.com. And once you're there, follow me under the name Politics Ghost, all right? Follow me under the name Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab, folks. And anyone trying to represent me or trying to be me on any other social media site, fake and gay. All right, that's all I got to say. Fake and gay. Anyway, and by the way, the transactions on Gab are working again, folks, okay? So everything's all good now. I think that Gab has got everything under control. Once again, the transactions are good once again. And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and I want to say Happy Baller Friday to the Inner Circle, and Happy Baller Friday to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Happy Baller Friday, baby! What's going on? And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and I'm going to be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room tonight after this broadcast, well then come on down. All you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do that, folks, private message me and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will private message you back on Gab with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. So I hope that you're listening in. I hope that you come on down and chill with us in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. We have all kinds of fun, tomfoolery, and of course, we have some pretty good, interesting political conversation. There are no more tards in the room. And not to mention, folks, the people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room are aiding in the unearthing of dirt from the Democratic Party, all right? Woo! Oh, man. Oh, man, I'm loving it, baby, all right? I'm loving it. What's going on to the capitalist army that's out there in the international community, man? Cheers. And by the way, let's go ahead and give some shout-outs to whoever's chilling with us in the True Capitalist Radio chat room tonight, all right? Happy Baller Friday to Stagio. Happy Baller Friday to Pepe the Frog. Happy Baller Friday to Nat. Happy Baller Friday to Metaform. Happy Baller Friday to Man Bear Pig. Happy Baller Friday to Holden Capitalist. Happy Baller Friday to Herb Capitalist. Happy Baller Friday to Hawk Late Milk. Happy Baller Friday to Fedora Kush. Happy Baller Friday to Comp Shekels. Happy Baller Friday to Capitalist America. Happy Baller Friday to Aesthetic. And Happy Baller Friday to Billy Cossack, baby. Cheers! Happy Baller Friday to you all. Thank you for being a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, man. I really do appreciate it. And Happy Baller Friday to Hambone. How you doing, man? Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and go right into the straight political dope. Let's go ahead and get right into the nitty-gritty, shall we? All right? Now, let's talk about the President of the United States, the modern-day George Washington himself. I'm talking about Donald Trump, folks. Yesterday, he held another no-holds-barred rally in Rochester, Minnesota. In Minnesota. Yeah, in Minnesota. Anyway, folks, what I liked about I'm telling you, I'm loving these Trump rallies, man. They're just giving me that spirit of 2016. And I'm telling you, I love no-holds-barred Trump. No-holds-barred Trump is best Trump, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, he went right at the jugular of all kinds of people. I mean, he even conjured up the spirit of Al Franken. Remember Al Franken? Huh? The Minnesota asshole who was an SNL writer who ended up becoming, I guess he was a senator, for Christ's sake. Was he actually a senator? He was a fucking senator or some shit. Whatever he was, all right, he's gone because of that infamous picture of him in those stupid dork-ass glasses pretending he's about to grab the honkers of some poor girl who's asleep, for Christ's sake. And this idiot, he didn't even really want to go away. He thought he was going to be able to make that blow over. I don't think so, man. That was documented proof of sexual harassment right there, Franken. And the president goes right at Franken, man. I'm telling you. He called him an old wet rag. All right, he called him an old wet rag. That's my president right there, baby. That's my president. Woo! Oh, man. I'm telling you, and on top of that, folks, I like how the president is going right at the jugular of the Democrats. I like how the president in these rallies, he's calling the Democrats the party of crime. Because it's exactly what's going to happen, folks, if they are allowed to once again fulfill their agenda on a national scale. We're going to have open borders, folks, and take a look at what's going on in Europe with that policy. They want to have open borders. They want to protect illegal immigrants. And you know what's really sad about this, folks, is because without borders, like the president says, we have no country without a border. And it seems as if the Democrats could care less about law-abiding American citizens, and they care more about illegal immigrants. And I think people that are Americans need to recognize this, and I don't care if you like Trump or don't like Trump. All right, it's about America and anti-America in this 2018 election. And aside from Democrats wanting to continue to promote, condone, and protest for illegal immigrants, they're also doing the same thing for criminals. They're also doing the same thing for whatever reason. I don't understand this correlation. But they're doing the same thing to sexualized children. Sexualized children. That's always a constant with these damn Democrats. Don't ask me why. I have no fucking idea. But I like how the president is going right at the jugular of these Democrats, calling them the party of crime. All right, and I like how the president, he also reassured me last night that this whole resistance movement is nothing more than a backfiring mechanism that's hitting the Democrats right in their face. It's hitting the Democrats right in their stupid anti-American faces. And I'm glad that enough American people are starting to wake up to this nonsense. I'm telling you, I love this president, man. I mean, that's why I came back in 2016 to conduct this broadcast. That's why I'm still here, because of this president. And this president shouldn't just inspire me. He should be inspiring you. I mean, take a look at all the flack he's getting, not just from the mainstream media, not just from the Democrats, not just from the United States deep state, but from the international community, the globalists. I could go on and on. This man, folks, has put his life on the line, his family on the line, his fortune on the line. I mean, I am amazed by this man. I say this all the time, that Donald Trump is the hero that we don't deserve. But instead of just sitting on your thumbs and not doing a goddamn thing, be inspired by Donald Trump and go do something. Go out there and show the rest of the world that this country will not fall under this whacked out lunatic liberal socialist crap. And we need to get a new foundation as a perception of Americans. We should no longer accept socialism and communism as any form of legitimate political spectrum. As a matter of fact, we as American people should be making the environment so hostile for socialists and communists that they should be afraid to admit that they're socialist and communist. I can't believe that I live in an America where you've actually got people running for goddamn office claiming to be socialist, claiming to be communist. This should not be a reality. And I hope that We are witnessing a new awakening of American people to understand that this globalist idea that wants to rob us of our sovereignty is rooted in communism and socialism. Mostly communism, if you want my opinion. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, folks, if you have been born in this country, you should appreciate being born in this country. You should appreciate that you can go to supermarkets and there's food on those damn shelves. You should be appreciative that you have the freedom of speech. Folks, I have been conducting this broadcast for 10 years, and I've been bashing every portion of this United States government, and I'm still here, I'm still talking, because this is the true essence of freedom. People are listening right now to this broadcast, and whether they agree or disagree, their synapses are being sparked in their heads. They are now starting to think about political awareness, the ability to understand when they're being duped, when they're not being duped, understanding international relations, understanding how economics goes with politics, etc. We're now politically aware, folks, and you cannot go back to sleep, especially if you're an American. Once again, I can't reiterate this anymore. This is a government made for the people and by the people, man. But the people must participate in the political process. The people must be knowledgeable of what the political process is and who is running in it. We can't be naive anymore. We can no longer have our narrative shaped by the lamestream mainstream media. In this day and age of the internet, you should have the ability to find out whatever it is that you're questioning on the political, economic, and social front. There should be no reason why anyone should be listening to a talking head on the lamestream media and listening to what they're saying verbatim. There should be no reason why no one is aware of what's going on the domestic political front, and let alone the economic and social fronts of the country. Because by God, folks, we have the internet. We have the internet where you can check, double check, triple check, quadruple check. You can reinforce whatever perspective that you have. You can reinforce whatever facts you think you heard. That's the beautiful part about the internet, folks. That's the beautiful part about the internet. And that's why I'm telling each and every one of you, it's time for you to get politically serious, especially if you're an American. If you're not an American, well, get politically serious in your country. Now, in your country, you may not have the freedom of speech. You may not have the freedom of expression, but you have the ability to infiltrate the system of government. And if you infiltrate the system of government and stay loyal to the capitalist principles and the right-wing ideas, you can change your government. You can change the way the government thinks. You can change the way everything is designed in your government, but you have to make the initiative. You've got to go out and push through and try to be a part of the system that you're in, whatever country you're in. You've got to be a part of it. You've got to infiltrate it. You've got to usurp it. You've got to usurp it, folks. And that's why I'm going to keep telling you it's time for you to get politically serious. It's time for you to get politically serious and not just sit on your thumbs anymore. And I'm glad we have a president that is not just sitting in the White House playing golf. He's out there committing himself and his time, his effort, his energy into making sure that making America great again becomes not just a blip in our existence, but a permanent reality. And that's what I want. I want Make America Great Again a permanent reality. I want a rich America a permanent reality. I want a safe, civil America a permanent reality. That's what I want. And who doesn't want that, folks? Except for leftists. Except for leftists that are driven by satanic evilness anyway. And I don't want to get biblical here, but let's be honest. Take a look in the eyes of all these leftists. They're already half dead. They've already sold their soul, especially these atheists. They sold their soul without them even getting anything. At least these idiots in Hollywood that are out here blatantly being evil and satanic and blatantly being deceptive and manipulative, at least they got something material. You people that are atheists didn't get anything, and you've sold your soul. Unbelievable.
Oh, Ghost, what are you talking about? I'm an atheist, okay? We're nothing but bacteria on a rock, all right? We're a happenstance, Ghost, okay? We're a happenstance. Don't you understand that, Ghost?
Well, how the hell did we get here?
Well, Ghost, have you ever heard of the Big Bang Theory, huh? The Big Bang, that's how we happen, okay? We're like stardust and shit.
Well, then why did the Big Bang Theory happen? What caused the Big Bang Theory?
I don't know, Ghost, okay? I'm an atheist. We just happen to be here, okay?
Just sit there and shut your soulless ass up, man. That's why the leftists want to kill the unborn. That's why they want to sexualize your children. I mean, folks, I'm not trying to get biblical here, but that's Satanism. To corrupt human beings, to corrupt human thinking, to corrupt human nature. That's satanic. Hence why you have this push on sex-changing your child when they're 6, 7, 8 years old. Hence teaching your children in public education masturbation and homosexuality when they're 6 and 7 and 8 years old. This is the Democrats. This is the left. This is what they're doing. They're trying to corrupt every institution that we know. Because that's what Satan would want, right? I'm not trying to be biblical here, but, I mean, even if you don't believe in Satan, wouldn't that be what he wants, or she wants, or it wants? To just completely eliminate the idea of sex? You know, there's no sex. There's unisex. There's pansex. Huh? I mean, isn't that what Satan would want, to eliminate the idea of a male and female being a family? And instead of male and females becoming families and getting together and having children, they want to genetically create children from a scientific petri dish now. Hey folks, have you heard what they've done recently? They have created a sheep in an artificial womb. Yeah. They are a goat or a sheep, whatever it is, a goat or a sheep in an artificial womb. Created this out of a petri dish and are literally incubating it in an artificial womb, folks. This is the direction that these satanic scientists want to take us, man. I mean, why do you think they're trying to push the convergence between the human being and technology? I mean, look up singularity, the convergence of the human body and technology, folks. Why do you think they're pushing artificial intelligence? Why do you think they're doing all this? Because they want to equate the human being of that as cattle. And those that are the, quote, elites, they're the ones that are going to integrate themselves with technology and be cyborgs and all this other life extension technology so that they can rule us, the meat bags. And why would somebody want to do this? I mean, folks, I'm not just saying this. Read it. I mean, I'm not trying to promote this fraud of Elon Musk. And I'm not trying to promote Joe Rogan. I think Joe Rogan is one of the most overrated pieces of podcasted shit I've ever heard in my life. But I would strongly advise you to look up what Elon Musk tells Joe Rogan the future of humanity is going to look like. Just take a look at it. Take a look at it. And he's saying exactly what I'm saying. Okay? He's saying exactly what I'm saying. Human beings are no longer going to be the dominant species on the planet. It's going to be hybrid, cyborg technology, singularity horse shit. And of course, what else are we going to be interfacing with? Artificial intelligence. I mean, y'all people love Elon Musk so much. I mean, why do you think he went on the Joe Rogan podcast out of nowhere? and then started describing the future of singularity and technology and human beings. He's telling you, he's there, he's at the elitist level, and I think it's freaking him the fuck out now, and that's why he's going kookster. That's why he's popping Ambien, for Christ's sake. That's why he's smoking pot with fucking stupid diseased-looking Joe Rogan on his fucking podcast. I'm just saying, and listen, this is what drives the leftist. The leftist, what are they trying to do, folks? Just listen. What are they trying to do? They are trying to remove the idea of a mother and father. They're trying to make the state rule over your children. I mean, take a look at what they're doing right now. I mean, if you have a child and they're in public education, how much time do you really spend with your children? Have you ever thought about that? How much time do you spend with your children when you send them off to public education? This is what this is all about. These people that are on the left are totalitarian freaks. They're totalitarian freaks. And they need to be stopped. And you know what? If you don't believe me that this is all Satanism, why don't you look up somebody by the name of Alice Bailey. Alice Bailey, who invented something called Lucis Trust. Lucis Trust, as in Lucifer. And guess what? The spiritual foundation of the United Nations derives from Alice Bailey's Lucis Trust and her writings. Look it up. Look up Lucis Trust. Look up Alice Bailey. And take a look at Alice Bailey's works. This woman was a devout Luciferian. And in her works, she talks about the end goal of Luciferianism. That there will be no more individuality. There will be no more freedom of speech. There will be no more anything, and the entire human race will be controlled. Look it up, man. I'm not just saying this crap because I'm pulling it out of my ass. Look these fucking people up, man. Alice Bailey, Lucis Trust. Look it up. As a matter of fact, if you look up Lucis Trust, you'll probably find it. It's connected to the United Nations. Huh? United Nations, one world government, huh? New World Order. You get all this crap now? You get it? And thank God Trump came along and put a monkey wrench in this whole globalist agenda. And this whole globalist agenda is Satanism, man. I mean, look, you can sit here and deny it all you want to, but that's what it is. I mean, only Satan would think that what the left is doing is a good idea. Sexualizing children, eliminating the family, trying to scientifically redesign the genetic code of man himself. I mean, take a look at what they're doing to our food. Look, why don't you go take a look at GMO food, nanotechnology in the food? Why don't you look this shit up, man? Why don't you look this shit up? I mean, folks, I mean, look, I know I'm going off keister here. I know it's a Baller Friday. I'm a little hype. And I know there's probably some people that they don't want to hear this. You know, that they want to say that I'm kookster because they don't want to hear the truth. But, folks, if you go and research, it's all there. If you go and research, it's all there, man. These people are all following some kind of deep, dark, satanic bunch of shit. I'm not kidding. You know, let me give you another example. Okay, I know I'm going off keister here, but let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now, you all are all familiar with John Brennan, right? John Brennan was the former CIA director during the Obama administration. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the CFR. The CFR is the Council on Foreign Relations, which many people have suggested is a globalist front in an attempt to usurp certain members of our government to oblige the globalist agenda. Now, I want to tell you all something, folks. You see those little chemtrails in the air? And I know right off the bat people are saying, Ghost, come on, don't go there, dude. Don't go there about chemtrails, man. No, chemtrails in the air. You know what that is? That is stratospheric aerosol injection. Stratospheric aerosol injection. And what are they throwing in the air? They're throwing in aluminum. They're throwing in all kinds of weird heavy metal shit. And, well, why don't I just let John Brennan tell you what's going on, since most of you dumbasses out there think that I'm lying and think that anybody who talks about any of these subject matters is a kookster. Here's John Brennan, the ex-CIA director during the Obama administration, speaking in front of the Council on Foreign Relations about stratospheric aerosol injections. All right, go ahead, engineer, throw it on.
Portions of retired people and older people relative to working-age citizens. Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other geoengineering initiatives.
Now, did you hear this asshole? Huh? Now, did you all hear this guy? This is John Brennan, the ex-CIA director, talking in front of the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, about this very easy program called stratospheric aerosol injections. And that, well, we need to... First of all, did you hear him at first try to say that it was supposed to curb greenhouse emissions, but then in the same breath suggest that it needs to be coincided with greenhouse emissions? I'm telling you, folks, what is happening here is pure goddamn Satanism, and if people don't want to believe it, well, then Satan's already gotten to you. I mean, you have no fucking soul. I mean, that's why you had the Democrats when, and I hate to bring up the Brett Kavanaugh situation, but I guess I have to because it's the next thing on the agenda, but when they saw Brett Kavanaugh pour his heart out when he was trying to adamantly deny these sex abuse allegations, and they saw him, you know, getting emotional and crying, these goddamn Democrats were whacking their fucking private parts off underneath the damn podium as this was happening. These people are sick. These people are sick. All right? So, I'm just telling you, every time you look in the sky and you see these fucking lines of whatever in the air, I'm just trying to tell you, folks, I'm just trying to tell you that what's going on here is not for our good, all right? It's not for humankind's goodness. All right, these people are fucking evil, and that's why I continue to do this broadcast in hopes that you aren't as evil as these sick maniacs. I mean, you heard him right there. That's fucking the CIA director, all right, during the Obama administration talking to the Council on Foreign Relations. And did you hear him at the end that, you know, this combined with weather modification, This, combined with weather modification, could potentially have some nation states rejecting this initiative. You think? You fucking think? You're messing around with people's lives. I'm telling you, folks, I'm telling you, you people need to wake up and realize that this world is a very dangerous place, a very evil place, and the people in charge are evil. And this Donald Trump presidency is but a breath of fresh air, but it's only a breath. And I think what Donald Trump is doing is not only putting himself on the line and his family and his fortune on the line in hopes of giving back the government back to the people, but he's hoping that he inspires some of you people that are listening as leaders, as fearless as he. These people are evil, folks, and I know that there's probably some atheists and Satanists out there that are like, yeah, give me a break, dude. Come on, Ghost. Satanism, dude. Yeah, come on, dude. Yeah, you know, you Jesus freak or something, man? Hey, take a look around you and take a look at what they're doing. Take a look at what they're doing to our food. I mean, they've already put fluoride in our water, for Christ's sake, man. The Nazis used fluoride against the people that were in the concentration camps, and now we're putting it in our fucking water. All right? I mean, I can go on and on, folks. I mean, wake up, man. Wake the fuck up. Once Obamacare became law, all of a sudden we started seeing spikes in cancer. And I keep telling you, folks, that it isn't cancer that kills people. It's the chemotherapy that kills these people. And guess why they keep giving out chemotherapy to cancer victims? Guess why? Because the doctor gets a cut. Whoever diagnosed the cancer and suggests chemotherapy, they get a cut. If you don't believe me, Google this up. That's why I love having a goddamn podcast, so that anybody who second guesses me can go Google this shit, or go Bing this shit, or go DuckDuckGo this shit, and find that I'm telling the truth. The truth! Damn it! Anyway, folks, look, I didn't mean to get off on this soliloquy, but, man, people need to wake up and realize, man, that there's some evil things going afoot out here, and the evil is in globalism, man. We cannot accept this form of globalism that has been shoved down our throats. The United Nations, all this shit, man, the International Court, all this crap. Anyway, folks, let me move on to another subject matter. I'm getting off keister here. It's a Baller Friday. I don't mean to get so esoteric and all that stuff, but, man, you guys need to wake up and realize what the hell's going on. You all need to realize what's going on. Anyway, let's talk about Brett Kavanaugh since I brought him up. The Brett Kavanaugh confirmation circus. It appears that Kavanaugh has the votes to be confirmed. It appears that way. Now, I know I talked a lot about the women that were in the Republican Party and how, you know, they need to be slapped by their husbands or whatever I said. I do at least have to give props to Susan Collins, who is the senator from Maine, which I have talked trash about in the past. She had a decent speech in her quest for attention whoring. I don't know if y'all saw that, because that's what it's all about.
I don't know what my answer is. I'm not going to say my answer until I'm on the floor of the Senate so I can attention whore.
But at least she said yes, okay? Even though she was attention whoring and doing all this stuff, at least she said yes to confirming Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. But this dumb, stupid, skankosaurus slutbag, Lisa Murkowski, this broad from Alaska, for Christ's sake, she's going to vote no for whatever fucking reason. If you want my opinion, the reason she's voting no is because someone, I don't know, Soros or somebody, you funded a pack of goddamn blubber-eating, igloo-living female Eskimos from goddamn Alaska to Washington, D.C., and these blubber-eating, igloo-living females, these Eskimo, I'm talking real Eskimos. I'm not talking about, like, you know, just because they're Alaska, I'm using the euphemism as an Eskimo to talk about them. No, real Eskimo broads brought them in I don't know who funded this. You can only suggest like Soros, Open Society. Somebody funded these Eskimos from Alaska to Washington, D.C., and these Eskimos were literally protesting outside the office of Lisa Murkowski, and I guess that's why she's going to vote no. All right, I'm telling you, I guess that's why she's going to vote no. She's a Republican. I mean, what is it about these fucking people from Alaska, especially these women? Hey, Alaska, stop voting in women into office. I mean, how many times do you have to show yourselves as complete idiots by voting some of these women? I mean, don't remember Sarah Palin, for Christ's sake? And speaking of which, Sarah Palin actually responded to Lisa Murkowski's no on Twitter. Did you see this? She actually joked her own dumbness. She's like, hey, Lisa Murkowski, I can see 2022 from my window. I swear to God, Sarah Palin fucking tweeted that. All right? But once again, Republican Lisa Murkowski from Alaska voted no because someone funded a pack of blubber-eating, igloo-loving, female fat Eskimos from Alaska to protest in front of Murkowski's office, for Christ's sake. You know, give me a break. I'm telling you, Alaska makes me sick. I mean, stop electing women leaders. Your women from Alaska are fucking idiots. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm just telling you how it is, for Christ's sake. And yet, even though Lisa Murkowski votes no, we've got a Democrat from West Virginia, Joe Manchin. He actually voted yes on Kavanaugh. Can you believe that? And let me tell you why Joe Manchin, the Democrat, had to cross lines and vote yes on Kavanaugh. Because he's suffering from a tough race in West Virginia. He's fighting for his political life. And, you know, West Virginia is mostly red. It's mostly a bunch of Republicans out there. And Joe Manchin's a Democrat. So Joe Manchin actually has to, walk that fine line between voting for Democrats on issues and voting for Republicans on issues. And look, most Republicans that elected Donald Trump, they elected him specifically to rack up those Supreme Court seats with conservative constitutionalists. Conservative constitutionalists. And Joe Manchin, even though he is a Democrat from West Virginia, he had to vote his constituency. And let me tell you, Trump isn't making it easy for Manchin. Trump has been to West Virginia at least 2 or 3 times in the past year and a half, trying to put the pressure on Manchin. So, will this yes for Brett Kavanaugh by Democrat Joe Manchin of West Virginia, will it be enough for him to win the election here in a month? Will he win re-election? Who knows? But even a Democrat voted yes, and that's why I'm saying this Lisa Murkowski, what a joke. And from what I understand, isn't Lisa Murkowski a lawyer? I mean, did I get this right? Isn't she a lawyer? This makes it even more stupid if she's a lawyer and voted no on Kavanaugh. I mean, a lawyer should understand that people, especially in America, must have due process of law. You can't just automatically assume one's guilty because someone's accusation. And that's what Lisa Murkowski's voting on. She's voting on the fact that there's so many women that are, I guess, crowding her office and are cornering her in goddamn elevators or whatever the case might be, that she has to side with the women because, oh, I am woman, hear me roar. I'm telling you, whoever the hell Lisa Murkowski's husband whoever her husband is, can you give your goddamn wife a slap, please? Can you give her a slap? From all the Republicans in the United States of America. For Christ's sake, whoever that fucking Lisa Murkowski's husband is, can you please lay it the Ike Turner smacketh down on this Eskimo bimbo? Jesus Christ. But once again, folks, even though the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation has been a circus, I think it's galvanized the right wing. I think that many folks that are on the side of the Republicans are going to go out to vote. This was definitely a challenge of conservative values, and I find it ironic that the Democrats, the party of Bill Clinton, the party of Anthony Molestation Weiner, the party of Al Franken, the party of Ted Kennedy, they are trying to now get on some kind of a soapbox as if they're the champions for feminism, as if they are the champions for women. This is a joke. What a joke. And I'm glad that we've got people open up their eyes to this and not being bamboozled by this fakery being put on by the Democratic Party. And I'm telling you, the Democrats, pure fucking evil. Pure evil, for Christ's sake. I'm telling you right now, if you vote for the Democrats, you are not only a soulless piece of satanic crap, you are anti-American. You hate America. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because all the Democrats are doing right now, they have no solutions. They have no plans. They're not laying out any kind of policy. They're just going out and trying to mess shit up. You heard them on the Project Veritas videos by James O'Keefe. Y'all seen those Project Veritas videos by James O'Keefe? He found Democratic Socialists embedded within our government. And all of them, they all say the same thing. We're just trying to fuck shit up, dude. We're just trying to fuck shit up like a bunch of anarchists, dude, trying to fuck shit up. Something has to be done about this, folks. I'm telling you this right now. Something has to be done. And us, as common sense, real American people, have to come out en masse and go to that ballot box before this country has to go to the cartridge box. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand what I'm telling you? That's why I hope that each and every one of you that are out there listening to the sound of my voice in America encourages yourself, your family, and everybody you know to go out in 2018 and vote Republican so that we can fulfill the entire Make America Great Again agenda. The entire Make America Great Again agenda. Now, I hope that this is going to put an end to the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation circus. But one thing I do want to say before we move on to another subject is that if you Democrats think that you won any kind of brownie points by literally trying to destroy the life of Brett Kavanaugh, once he's confirmed to the Supreme Court, you've got another thing coming, baby. I'm telling you right now, do you think that Brett Kavanaugh is going to have a new perspective on being non-biased now when it comes to Roe v. Wade, considering all these women that are out there threatening and have already accused him of sexual abuse? Do you think he's going to be rather pro-women now that you had all these women literally spread lies about this man? Do you think that he's going to be pro-gay and continue gay marriage, considering that you had nothing but a bunch of Paz Hole fruit bowls reinforcing this whole narrative that has been put forth by the Democrats that Brett Kavanaugh sexually abused women? I'm telling you, you damn leftists just screwed yourselves. You leftists just screwed yourselves, and I'm telling you right now, I can't wait for the day. You can mark down this day when I said it. I can't wait for the day that the Supreme Court reverses Roe versus Wade. I can't wait for the day that the Supreme Court rules against gay marriage. I can't wait for the day. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait until there's some true political payback for you ungrateful people. And if you want my opinion, if I were the president, because if I recollect correctly, it was Obama that signed an executive order making gay marriage legal, if I'm not mistaken. So the president could easily just unsign that, all right, and just make gay marriage illegal, and then what are you gays going to do? If you want my opinion, I think that Trump should even go farther than that. I think that he should stop the free distribution of Truvada. And you gays right now, I'm sure your goddamn asshole puckered when I said that, didn't I? Huh? Huh, you fucking gays? Yeah, that's right. No more free distribution of PrEP or P-Rep, Truvada. If y'all aren't familiar with it, folks, believe it or not, this is a pill that most gays are now taking. Believe it or not, I don't know if you know this. Most gays are popping this pill Truvada because they don't want to use condoms and they want somebody to pooge in their ass. You know, I mean, ejaculate in their. That's what I'm saying. They want somebody to pooge in their ass, and they want to feel it. And because they're gay, they feel that they should have the right to feel a man ejaculating in them just like a woman or some shit. I don't know. But what Truvada is supposed to do is prevent them from getting the AIDS. I mean, I don't know how that's possible, but that's what these gays are doing. These gays are out here. Hey, I'm on PrEP. Okay, don't worry about a condom, dude. Hey, I'm on Truvada. I'm a Truvada whore. Don't worry about a condom, dude. I'm saying, man, why don't you fucking make Truvada fucking $50 a pill? And then gays will start bitching. I'm not kidding around, man. I mean, you gays, you all have a lot of nerve talking garbage and trying to fight such a dirty-ass fight, man. We could fight dirty, too. I mean, in my opinion, I think that we should stop all these pothole free medications that we're giving people who are making themselves sick with HIV and AIDS. Why is it the taxpayers' fault that these gays can't be mature about sexual relations and put a condom on it? I mean, it's as simple as that, man. I mean, you know that there's gays that have lived during the most dangerous years of AIDS and they're still around. They're HIV negative. I mean, don't get me wrong, their colon might be hanging out of their shit funnel, but they're HIV negative, and the reason is because they use condoms. They use protection, you idiots! I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying, I mean, you know, these fucking people want to play dirty. I mean, this is where we can go, in my opinion. And look, I don't care what people do sexually. I can't even believe that sexuality is an identity. But you know what? I read you all an excerpt from the book called The Encyclopedia of the American Left on this past Wednesday. And it has the gay and lesbian movement as a factor of bringing in leftism. And in that excerpt that I read to you, it says in there that for once, instead of sexuality being a isolated sexual encounter, it has now become an identity. And man, you know, I think it's rather disgusting that one can only define themselves based on how they like to fuck. I mean, wasn't it Martin Luther the King that said, base your judgment on someone based on the content of their character? I mean, why exactly does everybody have to know, hey, I take it up the ass. I have pride. I have pride, man. Do you understand that how you like to fuck is not an identity? It means that you're a sexual playground. Do you understand what I'm saying? It means that you're a sexual playground. I'm just saying, folks, I'm tired of this, and if the Democrats, the gays, the women, and all these fucking people that are on the left, if they think that they won any kind of brownie points with making Brett Kavanaugh's life a living hell, you've got another thing coming. You got another thing coming, man. You've got another thing coming. Anyway, let me continue on, folks, all right? Let's talk a little bit about this latest bombshell out here, folks. Now, I don't know if you're familiar, but DNC lawyers, all right, the Democratic National Committee lawyers met with the FBI on Russian allegations before the surveillance warrant to survey Donald Trump in his campaign. Can you believe this? I mean, I don't know if y'all have read this. Of course, we're too enthralled with Kavanaugh, and we're too enthralled with all these other stories out here for the mainstream media to even get to it. But I think that everybody in here should be aware that the DNC lawyers met with FBI on Russian allegations before the Trump surveillance warrant. Now, this story, this bombshell story, was written by John Solomon at thehill.com, and I'm going to read you some of this because it's very important, because you're not going to hear this from the goddamn lamestream mainstream media, okay? Now, once again, John Solomon, thehill.com, it goes like this. Congressional investigators have confirmed that a top FBI official met with the Democratic Party lawyers to talk about allegations of Donald Trump-Russia collusion weeks before the 2016 election and before the Bureau secured a search warrant targeting Trump's campaign. Former FBI General Counsel James Baker met during the 2016 season with at least one attorney from Perkins Coie, the Democratic National Committee's private law firm. That's the firm used by the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign to secretly pay the research firm Fusion GPS and Christopher Steele. Do y'all remember that? This is the same firm, this Perkins Coie, that's C-O-I-E, Perkins Coie. This is the same firm used by the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign to secretly pay the research firm Fusion GPS and Christopher Steele, a former British intelligence operative, to compile a dossier of uncorroborated raw intelligence alleging Trump and Moscow were colluding to hijack the presidential election. I mean, give me a break, man. Where is Robert Mueller on this Russia collusion? I mean, come on. Where's Robert Mueller on this blatant Russia Democrat collusion? Where are you at, Robert Mueller? Where's your special counsel? Where's your special counsel that has been around for 2 years and has almost spent $30 million on this witch hunt with Russia Trump? Here, you've got the former FBI counsel, James Baker, admitting to this to congressional investigators. Where the hell are you, Robert Mueller? Huh? Where in the hell are you? FBI officials met with the Democratic lawyers to talk about this Russia-Trump collusion during an election. I told all of you folks that this Russia-Trump nonsense, even back in 2016, I said this, that this was going to be the main idea, the main crux of attempting to remove Trump from office. And I want to know where the hell Robert Mueller is as it pertains to this obvious and apparent Russia-Democrat collusion. I mean, folks, the DNC law firm paid secretly for the Fusion GPS Russian dossier that was compiled by Christopher Steele. How come we're not hearing this more on the mainstream media? I'm telling you, folks, I am sick and tired of hearing the lamestream media talking about Robert Mueller.
Oh, we're getting that much closer. The Robert Mueller investigation is getting that much closer to bring down Trump.
Give me a goddamn break. I'm telling you, folks, where is it? Where is Robert Mueller? How come we haven't seen anyone from this Democratic law firm or anyone from Hillary Clinton's campaign? How come we haven't heard them being interviewed by the Robert Mueller special counsel? I'll tell you why, folks. The same reason I said that Robert Mueller was chosen to be heading this special counsel. Robert Mueller himself is a cover man for the swamp. And I've told you this 1,000 times, folks. I even wrote an article about it on Ghost.Report. How come this man wasn't held accountable for 9/11/2001? He even admitted it in a CBS interview in 2002 that his screw-ups could have probably prevented the attack. And yet, there is no kind of... Nobody was held accountable for 9/11/2001. Nobody! Nobody! And this man was the FBI director during that time. And by the way, folks, it was Robert Mueller and his FBI that confiscated all the videos that had a vantage point of the Pentagon during the time it was hit. They confiscated every video that had a vantage point of the Pentagon, at any gas station, at any hotel, etc. And those videos are in the possession of the FBI, and this was done during Robert Mueller's FBI direction. I mean, I mean, who and what and when, or who's going to be held accountable, man? I'm telling you, Robert Mueller is a piece of swamp trash, and I don't know how this guy can wake up and look at himself in the mirror. And lest we forget, folks, he was also the damn FBI director during the time that the Obama administration, under the behest of Hillary Clinton's State Department, allowed uranium sales to Russia. Yeah. And I guess Robert Mueller didn't think that was that big of a deal, didn't he? Huh? I guess Robert Mueller didn't think it was that big of a goddamn deal. He was just like, well, don't worry about it. It's just Russia. I mean, we're supposedly going through a reset with them right now, right? Give me a break, man. And that's why I'm saying, man, I mean, this Robert Mueller himself needs to be investigated. He needs to be thoroughly investigated. I'm not even kidding around. I don't understand why this man hasn't even been one suspect of being investigated. This guy has done so much dirty shit in his goddamn day. Why isn't he being investigated? Why wasn't he held accountable during the 9/11/2001 attacks? I mean, come on, man. Somebody's got to ask these goddamn questions. Somebody, man. I tried to ask these questions, but of course, no answers. All right, no answers. And you know something, folks? I'll even sweeten the pot here. Okay. Now, I'd like for you to hear Robert Mueller, because just to show you how bad Robert Mueller was of a cover guy, let me listen to you, or let me let you listen to the FBI director at the time, Robert Mueller, testify about the Iraq War. He was one of the guys that promoted the idea that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and justified the war in Iraq. Here's Robert Mueller. Here's his testimony right here. He was then FBI director. All right, listen to him. This is why I'm telling you, I don't understand how Robert Mueller can sleep at night. Go ahead and play it.
As Director Tenet has pointed out, Secretary Powell presented evidence last week that Baghdad has failed to disarm its weapons of mass destruction, willfully attempting to evade and deceive the international community. Our particular concern is that Saddam Hussein may supply terrorists with biological, chemical, or radiological material.
Did y'all hear that right there? Huh? Right there. I mean, how much more evidence do you need that Robert Mueller is part of the swamp and he is a cover guy? He knows how to cover things up. He's a cover guy for the swamp. And that's why I'm saying Robert Mueller himself should be investigated, man. But if Robert Mueller wants to redeem himself, then go after the Democrat-Russian collusion, you fucking prick! Go after the Democrat-Russian collusion! Unless you're biased like the majority of the prosecutors on your special counsel, like Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. You piece of crap. I'm telling you, I cannot believe you can fucking sleep at night, Mueller! You're a fucking disgrace, man. You're a fucking disgrace. I don't know how you can sleep at night, man. Not even joking. All the money and blood and treasure that we lost in Iraq. I mean, how much did we spend in the Middle East? Like $5 trillion, $7 trillion or something of that nature? How many lives, how many American lives did we lose in Iraq? You fucking piece of crap. I'm telling you, I don't know. I can't believe that Robert Mueller can sleep at night. Anyway, once again, spread it around like wildfire because, of course, the mainstream media isn't going to say anything about it. The DNC lawyers, okay, met with FBI on Russian allegations against Russia Trump before a surveillance warrant was even issued. I mean, this is, you couldn't get any more Russia collusion. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. It makes me sick, man. Give me my freaking high-quality H2O, for Christ's sake, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know across the internets and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. That's right, folks. Type this in your browser, add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites. The following, ghost.report. All right, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, baby. Ghost.report. That's all you got to type in. And by the way, what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? If you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then all you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now and follow me on Gab right now. Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost. All right? And by the way, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then all you've got to do is check out my Gab, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content. All right, folks? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do that, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will private message you back with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. And by the way, if you do appreciate the content that you are listening to right now, then go ahead and throw something into the cryptocurrency wishing well at ghost.report, baby, all right? I'm not joking around. Throw something into the cryptocurrency wishing well at ghost.report, and all of your wishes will come true, folks, all right? So if you like and appreciate this content, go ahead and do that. You would very much be sustaining the continuity of this broadcast. All right, I'm just letting y'all know, baby. I'm just letting y'all know. Ghost.report, click on the tab that says cryptocurrency wishing well and throw just a little something in there. Throw anything in there. All right? And by the way, if you do throw more than 25 in there, I'll go ahead and send you some handwritten production notes, all right? How you like that? Some of these handwritten production notes I'll send you, all right? Anyway, let me go ahead and continue on with the broadcast here. Oh, yeah, and by the way, if you want some merch, I'm going to be working on some new merch for Ghost.market. That's right. That's all you got to type in your browser right now and add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites. Ghost.market. All right, go ahead and take a look. We're going to be adding some more merch on there, and I hope that you do like it, do appreciate it. We got some pretty good threads on there as it is, baby. We got some pretty good threads on there as it is, so go ahead and check out Ghost.market. All right, now that we got that all out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to another subject matter, folks. And let's take it easy, all right? Let's take it a little easy here. Let's have some fun, even though it may be a little macabre. Let's have a little fun, all right? Let's talk a little bit something that's not so political. Just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about selfies, folks. Have you heard about selfies? I'm sure you've taken many. I have never taken one because I'm not that fucking stupid egotistical. But I found something very ironic that happened. Well, actually, that has happened to people that have, taken selfies of themselves. There's a report that came out, folks, that there have been almost 260 people that have died between 2011 to 2017 taking selfies. Can you believe this? Huh? 260 people killed because they were taking fucking selfies. Now, folks, isn't social media at this point, can we agree that it is the degradation of society as a whole? I mean, can we agree that this whole idea of attention whoring via social media is really corrupted the psyche of most Americans? Fuck Americans, most people in the world, not just American people, most people in the world. So the reason I bring this up is because right now, folks, we are in a weird paradigm in which social media is where people are meeting each other nowadays. And I'm not just talking about meeting each other in a sense of like, hey, you know, you've got the same interests as I do. You want to join my club. You want to join my group. You want to talk politics. You want to talk math. You want to talk science, whatever. No. You've got people here utilizing social media in an attempt to mate, in an attempt to get dates, in an attempt to meet a significant other, for Christ's sake. Now, you want to know why that's so toxic? Because most people in this meeting folks via social media are doing so in a very vain perspective. And I've read a lot of articles as it pertains to people that utilize online app dating, social media dating, whatever the case might be, and they complain. They complain how self-centered it is, and how self-righteous it is, and how egotistical it is, and how vain it is. Well, of course it's going to be vain. I mean, when you traditionally used to meet somebody, folks, like in real life, you would actually talk to somebody before you made a judgment call on who they were as a person. In this social media world, we are now literally just focusing on people's looks and how they look in a selfie, how they look in a picture. That's how we're judging people at this point. We don't care how they are. We don't care what they are, whether they're crazy, whether they got schizophrenia, whether they're unloyal, whether they're thieves. No. It all comes down to how they look in a picture. I mean, do y'all remember that one stupid, dumb mulatto that was arrested, and he had a mugshot, and all these stupid, dumb bimbos that are now trying to cry woman power, woman liberation, respect women? Remember all these women were like,
oh my God, oh, he looks so great, look at that mugshot, oh my God, that mugshot looks so hot.
Did you know that asshole that his mugshot went viral? I think you know who I'm talking about, that light-eyed mulatto. Well, now he's married some heiress to some millionaire or something. I mean, folks, this is what I'm telling you. Now, let me bring up the crux of what I'm speaking of here before I get off on a soliloquy and continue to go on about social media. But this vanity that social media encompasses is very dangerous. Not just dangerous for any relationship that could be potentially built on such a ridiculous platform, but in your attempt to make yourself look cool for a picture, people are risking their lives, and they're putting their lives on the line. Once again, almost 260 people killed from 2011 to 2017 taking selfies. Now, drowning, transportation accidents, and falling are the most common selfie deaths. Are the most common selfie deaths. Drowning, transportation accidents, and falling. Okay? But let's not forget death by animals, electrocution, fire, and firearms also appeared frequently in the reports around the world. So this is legitimately what we're going to. This is where we're going down as a civilization. And that's why I keep telling each and every one of you that are out there, don't define yourself based upon how many likes you have on Facebook. Don't define yourself on how many friends you have on your social media. Don't define yourself as this, because it's meaningless. I mean, if you died tomorrow, no one would end up at your funeral. You're nothing more than some clique. That's all you are, is some clique. It's just a freaking clique. You know, I hate to bring up this stupid YouTuber, but I think everybody should look him up. I'm pretty sure you already know who he is. Very popular Habib, Jehudi, what's his name? FouseyTube. FouseyTube. Y'all familiar with FouseyTube? Well, FouseyTube, because he's made all this money on YouTube doing these stupid little dumb videos of his, and he's made all this money, and he's a millionaire off of YouTube, he thought that his shit didn't stink, and he thought that the people on YouTube actually cared about him. He actually thought that they were his friends or something. And believe it or not, this past summer, this idiot FouseyTube attempted to try to pull off a concert in which he rented out some venue out there in Los Angeles and invited all of his followers to come out and attend this concert. He actually thought that he was going to have a massive amount of people show up to the point where they couldn't control the crowd. Folks, barely 1,000 people showed up. Barely 1,000 people showed up, and it was a complete embarrassment to not only he, but to those that were helping him pull this stupid event off. And secondly, folks, aside from only 1,000 people attending his damn concert, they swatted the concert with a bomb threat, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? So they ended the concert within like an hour from it starting. And let me tell you, this guy went completely nuts after this. He got so nuts and went completely bipolar and just, I mean, there's a whole bunch of videos about that if you want to take a look at it and are interested in it. But this guy finally realized that nobody cares about him and that he's going to leave the country now because nobody cares about him, and that he was about to kill himself and tried to, contact some of these very close people, his close fans, even YouTube. He tried to email them some sort of suicide note, and he realized nobody cared. Nobody cared, for Christ's sake. So what I'm trying to tell you is, folks, no matter how hard you try to make yourself some internet fame whore, the people that are following you on these social media sites, the people that are giving you likes and reposting your shit or retweeting or liking or whatever the case might be, it means nothing. I mean, it's less than nothing. It's just a freaking click. That's it. I mean, it's nothing. And you people that are on social media need to understand this. I can't believe that people don't meet in real life anymore. I'm not even kidding around, man. I mean, I had people in the inner circle and then in the True Capitalist Radio chat room in which they use these apps or Facebook in an attempt to meet people. This is not how you meet people, folks. All right? I mean, you're already setting yourself up for disappointment because we all don't look like we look in the picture. Come on! How many women do you know that always have that look up picture so that you can't see my double chin and my fat ass? Huh? I mean, come on, man. We don't look how we look in the picture, for Christ's sake. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. That's why we've got almost 260 people dead from selfies. And you want my opinion, I don't think the death from selfies is a bad thing. I mean, I think it's social Darwinism, if you want my opinion. I think it's social Darwinism. I think that, these lives that were lost taking selfies, I don't think that they were going to cure cancer. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they were going to be the front runners of fucking world peace, all right? I think that this is just social Darwinism. But people need to realize that social media is nothing. Social media is nothing. It's a joke. The only people taking it serious is you, because you think that the people that follow you actually give a shit. They don't care. People don't care. It's the internet, man. It's the internet. I mean, take a look at this broadcast, man. We had people in the inner circle, man, that were talking, yeah, man, I'm down with the inner circle, dude, and, I'm going to make all this money. And then they make some money, and then what do? They put themselves in a fucked up situation. I mean, what does P. Diddy, Puff Daddy say? Mo money, mo problems? I mean, that's what you need to understand. You make mo money, you got to be more in control of yourself. You got to be more in control of your money. You got to be in control of everything, baby. This is your life. You got to be in control of your life. But once they found that their decisions were overwhelming and they couldn't take them, they resorted to, same dumb bullshit that people that follow people like FouseyTube are. They're nothing. They're losers, man. I mean, anybody that literally follows somebody like a FouseyTube is probably not doing very well in their social life in real life. I'm just saying, man. And it's not hard to meet women or if you're gay, meet other people. All you've got to do is put yourself in social situations. Why don't you go volunteer somewhere? Why don't you go to church and meet yourself a nice church goyle? Huh? I mean, why don't you go out to the mall? Why don't you go out to a Nika? Go out somewhere. That's the only way that you're going to meet not just a significant other, but acquaintances, you lonely pricks. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Anyway, once again, 260 people killed during 2011 to 2017 because of selfies. Drowning, transportation accidents, and falling are the most common selfie deaths, but deaths involving animals, electrocution, fire, and firearms were also frequent in these reports. So, once again, don't be so vain, all right? Because it can kill you, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and get to some international relations talk here, folks, since we are well into the third hour. Let's talk a little bit about Brazil. Now, the reason I'm talking about Brazil, folks, is because Brazil's right-wing candidate is in the lead here for president. This Jair Bolsonaro, who was the candidate that recently got stabbed by one of these sick, demented communists that are plaguing Brazil right now. And even though he got stabbed in the gut, he's healed up. He's keeping on with the campaign. He is not afraid. And I want to be honest with you, folks. I am pro Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil for president. Now, you're going to find that most mainstream media outlets are going to call Jair Bolsonaro some kind of a dictator. Some kind of, totalitarian or something. And the reason is, folks, is because right now, Brazil is in a very precarious situation. The whole country has been inundated with violent communists. And these communists are turning very, very violent. And I'm talking very violent amongst the general populace. You can take a look on Gab, folks. Gab has a lot of Brazilians right now. And all these Brazilians on Gab are calling for the removal of these communists. As a matter of fact, I could be watching some political video on YouTube, and in the chat section, it's always inundated with Brazilians saying, SOS, help us, U.S., Brazil needs help, Brazil's being taken over by communists, etc. But you see, you've got mainstream media in America calling the top right-wing presidential candidate in Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, some kind of a right-wing dictator. Now, why is this, folks? Well, let me read you a Reuters article that was written today. And this is written by Brad Brooks. What a cucky fucking name. I want you to listen to how American media, and remember, what is the president, our president, Donald Trump, said about this media? It is a leftist fake news media. A leftist fake news media. Let me read you this article as it pertains to the Brazilian's right-wing presidential candidate who is leading the polls right now, Jair Bolsonaro. Now, the title of this Reuters article, A Disciple of Brazil's Dictatorship Moves Closer to the Presidency. Dun, dun, dun. Let me go ahead and read you some of this, okay? In 1993, this is exactly how it starts off, folks. I'm not even kidding. In 1993, Congressman Jair Bolsonaro strode to a podium in Brazil's lower house and delivered a speech that shook its young democracy. He declared his love for the country's not-so-distant military regime, which was a military junta, and demanded the legislature be disbanded. Yes, I am in favor of a dictatorship, Bolsonaro said. A former army captain thundered at fellow lawmakers, some of whom had joined the guerrilla groups to battle the junta that ruled Brazil from 1964 to 1985. We will never resolve grave national problems with this irresponsible democracy. On Sunday, Brazilians will cast their ballots in a presidential election that could alleviate Bolsonaro to the head, or excuse me, elevate Bolsonaro to the head of the world's fifth most populous country. A political gadfly who has flitted, is that a fucking word? F-L-I-T-T-E-D. What the fuck is flitted? Hold on, I gotta see this faggy word real fast. Flitted? The fuck does that mean? I'm sorry, I have to know what flitted is. I've never used the word flitted, and believe me, I am a sesquipedalian. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, move swiftly and lightly? Flitted? Okay, fucking fruit bowl. Of course it had to be some dance reference from this faggot. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. A political gadfly who flitted through 9 minor parties in a 27-year career. His views have changed a little since that day in the Capitol. Violent criminals, Bolsonaro says to shoot them all. What's so wrong about that? What's so wrong about shooting violent criminals? Political enemies? Them too. What's so wrong about that? Corruption? A military coup will drain the swamp if the judicial system won't, he says. The economy? Bolsonaro wants to privatize state-run companies to keep politicians away from the till. Now, what's wrong with that? I mean, look at Brazil now, man. Brazil is a fucking dirt hole because of the fucking civilian government. I mean, I'm serious. Because of the Brazilian government, man. I mean, we need somebody in Brazil like Bolsonaro. Because that's all Brazil knows how to respect. All right? That's all they know how to respect. And I'm not trying to say that Brazil, needs to be forced into some kind of dictatorship. But folks, why don't you read about the communist insurrection that's happening in Brazil right now? It is violent, man. It is violent, for Christ's sake. And how did it get this bad? How did it get this goddamn bad? Well, let's just take a look at the last president of Brazil. And I'm talking about Dilma Rousseff. Dilma Rousseff. She was the female leftist politician from 2011 to 2016 that pretty much put Brazil in this fucked up economic leftist taking over by communist position. It was this stupid broad. And then you wonder why Bolsonaro is talking about how this democracy that is makeshift in Brazil cannot conquer the problems of Brazil. It can't. And I think they need a strong man like Bolsonaro to kill violent criminals because, look, you heard the article. Brazil is the 5th largest country in population in the world. So violent criminals, I agree with Bolsonaro, given his population, given the Brazilians' history, kill them. Political enemies, I mean, folks, there needs to be a cleaning of the swamp in Brazil. I am completely with Bolsonaro on this. Kill communists. That's why I'm telling each and every one of you Brazilians out there that are listening, don't just stand there. Go out there and kill a communist before they kill you. I mean, just take a look at what they did to Bolsonaro. They stabbed him, for Christ's sake, during a campaign rally. And that's why I'm telling you, folks, I am pro Jair Bolsonaro to be president this Sunday in Brazil. And I'd like for everybody listening to this broadcast to keep your eyes peeled on this Brazilian election, because I speculate that if Bolsonaro wins the election in Brazil, you're going to have a violent reaction from the communists in Brazil. You're going to be hearing a lot of violent acts in Brazil. And if you happen to be in Brazil, and I'm looking right now, there's at least 10 different streams going out from Brazil right now. If you're in Brazil, you better protect yourself. And I'm telling you right now, kill communists. Kill communists in Brazil. That's the only way. That's the only way. Because once Bolsonaro is proven that he is the president, and once it's announced that he's president, I should say, I'm telling you, watch. Prognosticator of prognosticators is speculating, and I'm going to be right, that you're going to have major violent backlash from communists in Brazil. You know what I mean? And okay, so what? His controversy is what? He wants to kill commies? Man, kill them all! Kill them all, Bolsonaro! Kill them all! They were trying to kill you. And that's why I'm telling you, Brazilians, man, don't fuck around about it. I mean, it's time for you Brazilians to demand peace. And the only way to achieve peace is to prepare for war. And who are the people of Brazil going to war against? These leftists that have made your lives living hell. You know it and I know it. I mean, during the military junta's reign in Brazil, you at least had civil order. You had civil order. But once the civilian government came along and it was infested with leftists and communists, look at what happened to your country. Look at what has happened to Brazil. So once again, I am full throttle pushing for Jair Bolsonaro, and I hope that he wins this Sunday. And when he wins this Sunday, I hope he kills so many goddamn communists that it literally triggers everybody out here in the Western media. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not kidding around. I'm not kidding around, for Christ's sake, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not joking from you folks. I mean, I'm serious to the folks in Brazil. I want Brazil to be great again because it's a beautiful country. There's beautiful people in Brazil. I mean, some of the hottest looking women come out of Brazil. You got to make sure they're women. I mean, they have the most passable trannies next to Thailand and Bangkok. But I'm just saying. I mean, there are beautiful people out there in Brazil, man. They should be able to live in peace. All right? And the only way to achieve peace is to prepare for war, because the communists are. The communists are all about war. They're all about trying to cause disorder. And I think the Brazilian people deserve peace. So, Jair Bolsonaro, I hope that you're president. I hope that you're elected. And I hope that you kill these communists, Mr. Future President-elect. I hope that you kill these fucking communists. And I can't wait for the left-wing media in this country to go in autistic screeching. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. Autistic screeching. Anyway, kill those communists, Bolsonaro. Kill them. Kill them all. They're fucking pieces of garbage that need to be systematically eliminated like a cockroach or a rat. All right? Jair Bolsonaro for president of Brazil. All right? Jair Bolsonaro for president of Brazil. Anyway, let me move on to another subject matter, folks. All right? Let's talk a little bit about international institutions, okay? Now, I don't know if you folks know what Interpol is, all right? Does anybody know what Interpol is? Well, Interpol, believe it or not, is an international law enforcement wing that is pretty much ran by the United Nations, okay? It's the largest police organization with 192 member countries. Its primary role is to assist law enforcement agencies around the world in combating all forms of transnational crime and terrorism. Okay? So, for instance, if there's some international arms dealer or some international thief that steals secrets and goes from country to country, Interpol is one of the agencies that will try to track that person down. Or if there's a terrorist who's organizing terrorist acts and is moving around from country to country, Interpol will attempt to try to locate this particular individual, etc. They've made movies about Interpol. It's obviously a United Nations World Police Organization. It's an international institution. Now, why do I bring it up? Well, because the head of Interpol, Meng Hongwei, has been reported missing after visiting China last week. And look, I don't mean to be laughing, okay? I don't mean to be laughing, but it seems as if Mr. Hongwei knew something that the Chinese didn't want him to make public. And the reason I'm bringing this up, and I'm even, talking about this on the broadcast, because wasn't it China claiming that it would carry the torch for globalism? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, this act by this Interpol head going missing within the country of China looks a lot like a rogue nation to me. It doesn't look like somebody who's embracing globalism. I mean, and look, Interpol is putting out an APB on this poor guy. He's the head of Interpol, Meng Hongwei. He went to go visit China because obviously China is his home country, and he's been reported missing. Now, how the hell can you go missing in China unless the Chinese government wanted you to go missing, right? Well, anyway, folks, like I said, it seems to me that Mr. Hongwei knew something that the Chinese didn't want to be made public. Remember, Interpol, they know a lot about a lot of things. And this is an international institution that answers to the General Assembly of the United Nations. So you can't get any more globalist institution than this, and then you've got this head of Interpol going missing in China. I mean, how does that look to China, claiming that it's going to carry the torch of globalism? I mean, you're looking like a rogue nation, China. And what, they can't find this guy? They don't know where the hell he is? I mean, come on, the Chinese know exactly where he is, man. So this is very interesting. This is very interesting what we have here, because I'm sure that the United Nations is not very happy with this news, because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, Interpol is a big deal in international institutionalism. And for the pro-globalist China to have this guy go missing, it says a lot of things. I mean, it says to me that China may not be the globalist variant that these international institutions are wanting. I mean, this is rogue nation type of shit. This is what Kim Jong-il used to do when he was ruling North Korea, for Christ's sake. So very interesting what we have here in these chain of events. Once again, the head of Interpol, Meng Hongwei, has been reported missing after his visit to his homeland of China. I mean, how else can you explain it, man? How else can you explain it? This is rogue nation type shit. Come on, China. I thought you were going to hold the torch of globalism. I thought you said in the 2016, remember Xi Jinping in the 2016 World Economic Forum speech in Davos, Switzerland? Remember? I mean, he was championing himself and championing China, saying that we will go and lead the world in globalism. What happened? Huh? What happened? Give me a goddamn break. And somebody in the Gab that's a very good point. Somebody on Gab said, isn't there a fucking camera on every corner in China? And this guy goes missing? Come on. You know that there's something to this. And that's why I bring this up. Because remember, these are supposed to be the leader of globalism now, China. And now they have literally taken away the head of Interpol. They've literally taken away the head of Interpol. Unbelievable. Now, there's some more news on China. Now, I reported, I believe it was either Monday or Wednesday, that we had a very close call, and I'm talking the United States Navy with a Chinese warship in the South China Sea. The USS Decatur got within 45 yards of a Chinese warship, and that's the closest, we have come to a potential World War III situation with China. And let me tell you, the president is not messing around with China, man. I mean, I heard the president in the past 2 rallies suggest that China wants to make a deal. China all of a sudden wants to make a deal, but I don't think they're ready to make a deal. I don't think China's ready to make a deal. Oh, man, I'm telling you this right now, man. I mean, the president is playing hardball with China, and China knows it. Okay? Now, aside from this incident between the USS Decatur and a Chinese warship, the United States Navy has announced secret missions in the South China Sea. Secret missions in the South China Sea. So we're messing with China in this South China Sea situation. Remember when Barack Obama just allowed China to just take over that stupid little reef island? And we didn't even do anything, for Christ's sake. We just allowed them to take over the South China Sea? Nuh-uh, that ain't happening with Donald Trump, boy. That ain't happening with Donald Trump. And that's why the United States Navy has announced secret missions into the South China Sea. And I'm telling you, these U.S.-China tensions are getting more and more intense. I mean, China today warns, they warn the United States to exercise restraint or face consequences. Oh. You know what, China? Bring it on. We'll blindfold you with dental floss and stick chopsticks up your ass. All right? We're not afraid of China. Bring it on, China. Bring it on. You ain't shit. All right? You ain't nothing. We'll go dump boxes of opium in your goddamn country again if you want to play that way, boy. Huh? How you like that? Give me a goddamn break. Let me tell you something. China better get the message that the United States ain't the pussy-whipped pieces of fucking globalist trash that we have been for the past 30, 35 years. All right? This is America first. This is a pro-American society that is now politically awake, and we ain't going back to sleep, boy. We ain't going back to sleep. So I'm glad that the president is playing hardball with the Chinese, because as I stated, folks, how did the Chinese get to this kind of a superpower point? The Clintons. The Clintons, folks, I keep telling you, the Clintons were the ones that gave China their nuclear technology and their stealth jet propulsion technology. And if you don't believe me, I said this on the last broadcast, Google up Clinton Los Alamos Chinese spy, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And you know what? You'll get New York Times articles about it. You'll get Washington Post articles about it. And how did that Chinese spy end up at Los Alamos nuclear facilities? Clinton. Bill and Hillary Clinton. They know how to give secret information and make it look like an accident. Huh? Like leaving a email server in a bathroom that's unsecure. Get the fuck out of here, man. And if you don't believe me that the Clintons and China are literally shoved up each other's ass, I said this again on the last broadcast. Google up Clinton, China, Lincoln bedroom. I mean, Bill and Hillary Clinton leased out the Lincoln bedroom in the White House to Chinese for the highest bidder. They rented out the Lincoln bedroom in the fucking White House. Look it up. Google it up. I don't ever say shit that ain't true, man. This is why China is so powerful. The Clintons gave them nuclear technology. The Clintons gave them stealth technology. And it's not just the Clintons, folks. It's the entire Democrats. The entire Democratic Party. I mean, I already talked about, and it should still be talked about. Dianne Feinstein, Senator Dianne Feinstein, had a Chinese spy as her office manager and her driver. The FBI notified Dianne Feinstein about this, and what did Dianne Feinstein do? She allowed this Chinese spy to quietly retire so he could collect a taxpayer-funded pension. How come there's no FBI investigation into Dianne Feinstein? This is why each and every one of you need to be politically awake, and this is why I implore you to spread the word about the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. The lamestream mainstream media isn't going to talk about these subjects. They're not going to talk about these subjects like the straight political dope that's discussed on this broadcast. Good God! No one's going to tell you this. Huh? Lamestream mainstream media isn't going to tell you this. That's why you got to come to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, get the straight political dope, man. Anyway, let me move on, folks. We're running out of time here. I reported, I believe it was last Wednesday, that India defied the United States sanctions against Russia and decided to purchase S-400 missile defense system, 5 of them. And I think that the media, now that this story has gotten about, the media is trying to make India look as if they're defying the United States. I don't really think they're defying the United States. I mean, lest we forget that we had Secretary of State Pompeo and General Mattis visit India about a few weeks ago, in which they signed a military intelligence agreement, meaning that they are going to trade military intelligence. Now, to me, what this looks like is India purchasing the S-400, because this is their latest missile defense system the Russians have produced. I'm really surprised Russia is even selling this. The S-400 missile defense system. Anyway, India is purchasing it, first of all, because who are they defending? Who are they purchasing this for? They're purchasing this to poke China's eye. I'm telling you, folks, India wants a war with China. India is begging for a war with China, and China doesn't want to have anything to do with India. They don't want to have anything to do with India. So, in my opinion, what I'm witnessing here is India playing the same type of international relations game as Israel. Now, for all those folks that don't know, Israel is both allies with the United States and Russia. And Israel does business with both of us. This is the same thing India's doing. I've been talking about it here for the past several months, that this Prime Minister Modi, he's a slick international relations player. This guy is playing all sides of every angle of international relations, but in my personal opinion, he is trying to instigate some level of confrontation with China. And why is that, folks? Why is that? Well, first of all, I personally believe that China and India could both use the war, because both countries have enormous populations of over 1 billion each. And in India's case, the geographic area is much smaller than China. I mean, I've heard from people that have been to India that there are people everywhere in India. They're all over the goddamn place. There's people everywhere. And when you have enormous populations like this, you need a way, and I hate to say this, to eliminate a good portion of the population without looking like a bunch of soulless communists who kill their own people themselves. So a war between an India and a China would suffice this, while at the same time battling out old grudges. You know? Because lest we forget, folks, that during times of crisis in the past, China gravitated towards Pakistan, Pakistan gravitated towards China in times of crisis. But that is turning, because Pakistan, since Pompeo and Mattis visited Pakistan, is now taking a different view on China. They feel that China is economically trying to exploit them. I'm talking Pakistan, and Pakistan is thinking about cutting most of their economic investments into Pakistan because Pakistan realizes that China wants them to be indebted to them. But China recently, and this was at the BRICS Summit, I talk about the BRICS Summit a lot because it was when the Chinese bowed down to India and denounced its former ally during times of crisis, Pakistan, and called Pakistan a harbor of terrorism. And this is very important, folks, because in my personal opinion, I think this is what India is getting these weapons for. And to be honest with you, I don't think India defied the United States in purchasing these S-400 missiles from Russia. I think it's aiding the United States and aiding the United States' view that Russia is a very dangerous and rogue nation that continues to arm whoever the hell it feels like it. I mean, I'm really surprised that Russia isn't keeping this in its own home country. It's giving it, or actually selling it to India. I mean, do you think that Russia and India are going to be buddy-buddy, for Christ's sake? I've never heard of such a thing. I'm telling you, folks, Russia's doing this to show that they are going to defy U.S. sanctions, and the Indians are doing this to build up their military hardware in case of a major confrontation with their neighbor, China. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is very slick stuff here. And I don't think that this was to defy the United States. I think that this was to reinforce the United States' case that Russia, is a rogue piece of shit nation that is arming the world so that they could cause World War III, for heaven's sake, man. I think that this is what it comes down to. And guess where they sent their old S-300 missile defense models? Where do they send those? They sent those to Syria. Now, what I need to know is Russia sending those S-300 missile defense systems to Syria out of their own pocket? Or is Bashar al-Assad actually paying for those S-300 old defense systems? I just don't get it. I don't get what Putin's trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think he knows. And like I said, folks, if it hadn't have been, or if it wasn't for the international media putting Russia on this big-time super hacker, super agent, super Russia type pedestal, I think that Vladimir Putin would have been overthrown 2 years ago. But because the lamestream media bolsters this image of Vladimir Putin as if he's bigger than he is, this is what gives him the credibility amongst his domestic population, even though many within his own population want him removed from power. I mean, the guy is constantly having nothing but protests. He's having to arrest hundreds, if not thousands of people. He's killing massive amounts of people. He's doing whatever it takes to stay in power in Russia. And those that support him, they support him because look at how he's making Mother Russia look on the international community, huh? Look at how the international community is showing Mother Russia. I mean, these damn Russians take pride. They're proud when the international community is recognizing Russia as a threat. That's how stupid these dumb Ruskies are. Anyway, folks, last but not least, let's talk a little bit about Afghanistan, all right? Now, did you hear that Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, goes to Afghanistan in an attempt to privatize the Afghan war? Meaning Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, attempted to go in front of the governing body that is the, I guess, reigning government in Afghanistan in an attempt to persuade them to privatize the war. And instead of utilizing United States troops, they'll utilize Blackwater troops to preserve the integrity of the government. And the Afghan government said, hell no. Now, I think that this is a bad move by the Afghanistan government, and the reason I think it's a bad move by the Afghanistan government is because this is the direction that the United States wants to take the Afghanistan theater. We don't want to utilize any more military assets in Afghanistan. We've been there since 2002, right? We've been there since like 2002, 2001, for Christ's sake. I mean, how much more time do our boys have to be out there? And since we have this belligerence with China, since we have this belligerence with other international entities, we need as many hardcore military men that are military, that are part of the United States military, to fight on our side in the international community outside of this goddamn paradigm that's called the Afghanistan war. Now, since Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, went to Afghanistan in an attempt to privatize the Afghan war, and the Afghan government rejected privatization, I'm strongly telling y'all to watch Afghanistan, folks. As a matter of fact, as early as this weekend, watch for major attacks, a major uptick in attacks with the Taliban, with ISIS, which is miraculously now in the country. Take a look at the uptick in attacks. Because even though we are protecting the government, I'm talking the United States military is protecting the Afghan government, we're not protecting every component of that institutional government. And those components that the United States military is not protecting, that's where you're going to see Taliban and ISIS strikes. And you're going to see a major uptick in it, folks. Because I'm telling you, what we, as far as the Trump administration is doing with Afghanistan, is we no longer want to continue to fight this ridiculous to nowhere war with the Taliban in Afghanistan. So people that are diplomats are attempting to sit down with the Taliban so that they could either be a part of the Afghan government or take it control completely. And that's why you're seeing all this uptick in Taliban terrorism and ISIS terrorism, because the Afghan government, as we know it right now, would be nothing if the United States military leaves. If the United States military leaves, the Taliban would take complete and total control of the country like that. And that's why we want privatization. Because this way, we can continue to protect the government. And because Blackwater are privatized mercenaries, they are outside the Geneva Convention and could probably battle even more harder and more brutal than the Taliban. But for whatever reason, you've got the Afghan government now rejecting the idea of privatization. And I'm telling you, this is probably going to anger many of the foreign policy makers in the United States. So I personally believe that this could be potentially open season in Afghanistan. Watch as early this weekend. Watch as early as this weekend for Taliban and ISIS strikes to happen in Afghanistan, man. And they're not going to hit the United States. No, they're going to hit targets relating to the Afghanistan government. That's what they're going to do. They're going to hit targets related to the Afghan government. And why? Because the United States, we want a presence in Afghanistan, but we don't want to continue the current military theater that's in Afghanistan. And the reason we want a presence in Afghanistan, because it gives us a little bit of geography to hit up Russia or China. It keeps us close to those enemies. And that's why we want a presence. We just want to privatize the protection of the Afghan government so that the Taliban understands that, hey, look, it's no longer the military that's going to protect the Afghan government. It's going to be these brutal killers, these mercenaries from Blackwater that are outside the Geneva Convention. And this would convince the Taliban, in my opinion, to entertain joining the government. But since the Afghans have rejected privatization of the military or of of the war, I should say. Now they're just going to have to be protecting themselves. I mean, I hope they have enough soldiers to be able to fend off these Taliban and ISIS fighters, which I don't think they are. So, once again, watch this weekend for a Taliban attack. I'm telling you, I mean, this is like clockwork. I know international relations, baby. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, that concludes the news that I've got for today. And I do want to say Happy Baller Friday to everybody who's listening to the broadcast here. I really appreciate you listening to this broadcast, because I'm telling you right now, aside from getting the straight political dope from this broadcast, I'm also trying to spark synapses in the brains of capitalists throughout the world. Because I want capitalists throughout the world so we can change this leftist, communist, socialist idea of lunacy. It never works. Every variant of communism and socialism kills innocent people. And who kills these people? The state themselves. The communist and socialist state themselves kill these innocent people. And who is the state to make these kinds of decisions? Anyway, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me on this Baller Friday edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I will be back this Monday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. Type this in your browser. Add this to your bookmarks. Add this to your favorites. The following, ghost.report. All right, ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Once again, we're independent. We're underground. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are listening to the political underground. And believe me, they're trying to call this broadcast dangerous. Can you believe that? They're trying to call the True Capitalist Radio broadcast dangerous, baby. Can you believe that? Oh, these fucking leftists. They ain't seen nothing yet, boy. They ain't seen nothing. Anyway, folks, I am going to be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 25 minutes. If you want to come kick it with us on this Baller Friday, then go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, private message me on Gab. Private message me on Gab, and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will give you a private message back, giving you a personal invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. And by the way, folks, if you do appreciate the content that you're listening to, or do you do appreciate what we're doing on Ghost.Report, well then click the Cryptocurrency Wishing Well tab and throw something in the Cryptocurrency Wishing Well, baby. All right? That will definitely sustain the continuity of this broadcast and continue to deliver to you the straight political dope on Ghost.Report, all right? Click the Cryptocurrency Wishing Well tab, throw some cryptocurrency and make a wish, and make all your wishes come true, baby. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. I will be here Monday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. I hope you're here, and I hope you bring people with you. All right? I hope you bring people with you. Once again, keep your eyes peeled on the Brazilian election that's happening this Sunday, and let's cheer on the man himself, Jair Bolsonaro, Jair Bolsonaro for president, the right-wing Brazilian candidate, and let's make Brazil great again. How about that? For all those that are listening from Brazil, let's make Brazil great again. Elect Jair Bolsonaro and kill communists out there in goddamn Brazil, all right? Kill communists in Brazil before they kill you. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. I'll be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room in 25 minutes, and I hope to see many of you then. Until then, long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism. You better be here Monday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and spread the word about the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Spread the word about the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, boy, and let the entire world know about this dangerous broadcast on the internet, boy. Let them all know. Woo! Happy Baller Friday, baby. Happy Baller Friday. I am out of here. I am out.